Do not adjust your set. The Buffaloes are indeed wearing black and red for tonight's game. It's their Natsuno-jin special uniforms, and that means it's time for the Midnight Matinee here on the Pacific League English YouTube channel. The Oryx Buffaloes at home, Kyocera Dome, Osaka, taking on the Saitama Seibu Lions in a game which all of a sudden has postseason implications. Oh goodness, this could be interesting. And yes, I covet one of those jerseys. Black with pinstripes and red lettering? Oh yeah, give me all of those. Hello folks, Gabe Lerman on the call with you, here to get stuck in for the next 3 hours or so. Joining me in the virtual booth, Matt Seivert. Matt, how you doing tonight?
It's a great night for baseball. I would say that even during the winter, but it's definitely a great night for baseball. I'm sure it's an even better day in Japan. And glad all of you are joining us. Thanks for tuning in.
Yeah, the climate-controlled comfort of Kyocera Dome, which even in summer they have vents on the seat backs just to blow on the fans in front, because otherwise this place can get a little schwitzig, you know? Now, I've kept an eye on this particular series. Not only is the season series tied at 9 games apiece, both of these two have traded 1-0 shutout wins over the last 2 games of this series. And both times, the Buffaloes have been the home team on the Midnight Matinee. They've walked it off. So expect a low-scoring game, and I'm hoping things continue. Lord knows the Buffaloes could use the extra wins. Here's today's sponsor, Kansai Bank. A little inside on the first pitch. Still swings at it. Kansai Mirai Bank Day is the special event going on. That's why you see the additional mascot there. Also, the first 15,000 fans in attendance get a wet tissue pack from today's sponsor. There's today's starting pitcher, Taito Takashima. This is his first start since May 4th against Rakuten. Getting promoted out of the bullpen for today's game. He's faced the Lions twice before this season, both times pitching well, one of those 7 shutout innings. But then again, both those games were back in April, so who knows how the additional experience has worked for the Lions, especially adding J.D. Davis to that lineup. That adds a little bit of extra scariness. Matt's asking, is that really going to be an opener situation? Maybe. We'll see. Hopefully he's been stretched out just a little bit longer than usual. I also love that he has a nickname of Prince, because if you translate his previous team, the Oji Group Industrial Team, and read the kanji a little differently, it reads as Prince.
The last couple of times that Takashima's been on the hill, you can see right there his longest outing by innings is 3 1/3. So probably assuming Oryx is hoping to get a little bit more length out of him today.
Take a look at the defensive alignment for the Buffaloes. Around the outfield, Keita Nakagawa in left, Taishi Hiraoka in center, Utaro Sugimoto in right. On the infield, Yumamune at third, Kotaro Kurebayashi at short, Ryo Ota, the phenom, at second, Yuma Tongu at first, and Kenya Wakatsuki at catcher.
DH for today's game will be Masahiro Nishino for the Buffaloes.
And right off the hop, it's a 1-pitch, 1-hit appearance for Shota Hiranuma, getting things started early for Seibu, pouncing on that first pitch fastball.
I guess he's living up to the team name. Pouncing, Lions. That said, they didn't even have time to show the graphic of his season to date, so we'll get that a little bit later.
The jokes don't get any better from here, folks. Strap yourselves in.
It's only 10 p.m. on my time, but, no, they're not.
It is officially midnight here on the East Coast, so we are underway. It is the Midnight Matinee. Second pitch of the game for Takashima. Natsuo Takizawa bunts, but this one is foul. Wakatsuki grabbing it quickly. The Lions lineup is going to be an interesting comparison of contrasts in that they have the shortest player in NPB this season, Natsuo Takizawa, that you see here, getting on base at a 296 clip, and Reon Murata, who stands 33 centimeters taller than him. That's about the length of a ruler. That is a foot. 0-1 pitch on the way from Takashima. Bunt attempt again. This one's popped up. Foul is the call. And it's a good thing, too, because Ota could not field that one cleanly. Wakatsuki, you see there the powerful arm that's made him one of the best defensive catchers in Japan.
Also
love that
noting,
overhead view.
Yeah, the bunting technique is astonishing. How easily he deadened the ball with his bat. It's a great thing for young baseball players. Not that those should be watching. They should probably be asleep, but really good bunting technique there.
The one knock against NPB is that they love to put bunters in the 2 spot, and instead he's going to doink a single and get safely aboard. Tiny highlight reel, making things happen early.
I mean, if he fouled it off again, he'd be struck out, so no reason to bunt.
The Lions faithful in left field, coming all the way from Saitama. Also love that the Lions are wearing their summer uniforms. The powder blue is a nice look. And what would you call those? Like micro pinstripes?
On the Buffaloes jersey?
No, on the Lions one, the vertical stripes.
Ooh. I don't know.
Yeah, we got to have a look at that. Runners at first and second, still nobody out here. Shuta Tonosaki steps in. One of the last remaining parts of the pennant-winning clubs of the mid-2010s for this Lions organization. Breaking ball in for a strike. Here's from yesterday. Tonosaki bounces this one off the left field half walls. For the double, that would be the only run in yesterday's game. Gotta love that cheer song. Funky. 0-1. Fastball is inside. Ball 1. If you're out in the outfield, you are getting a workout. Lots of jumping, especially if you're a Chiba Lotte Marines fan. See the guy there trying to harmonize. Love it.
We're just checking. Can I even hear myself in this situation?
Yeah, it is a lot of noise. We haven't even gotten into a
environment.
chant song yet. Tonosaki drops the bunt down to first base. Tongu will flip to Ota covering in the nick of time, so that'll be a sacrifice bunt to move the runners. Second and third, one out for Tyler Nevin, the big bopper of this Lions lineup. So just the way you drew it up, I guess?
Sure, except it was supposed to be Takizawa.
Hey. Worked out in the end, I suppose.
It did.
There you see. Oh, there you see the difference in height between even Tonosaki and Reon Murata. Okay, we got a bunch of folks in the chat. Hello, hello, Koyomi Matic, Luke, East Bay, old friends, Philip V. Nice to see y'all.
And
First
that is
pitch
low
is
for ball
bounced in
1.
the dirt. So Tyler
Nevin's been a great pickup.
Oh my goodness. Not only that, he actually signed an extension mid-season, which is not something foreign players usually do. He likes playing here, and the results are showing. How about third in batting average at 289, fourth in home runs with 11, fourth in RBI with 46. Second and third, one away. Fastball brought over for a strike.
I would say Nevin's are arguably one of the biggest parts of that, like, hot start the Lions had this year. Obviously, the pitching is great. We'll see Chihiro Sumida on the bump in a little bit, but Nevin has been one of the primary drivers of this offense all year.
In terms of pitch mix from Takashima, in addition to that fastball, look for slider, curve, cutter, and a unique changeup. Apparently has some odd motion. That'll be a fastball in for ball 2. You know, we're used to seeing guys light up the radar gun in the 150s and even pushing 160. I saw an interview from Kaima Taira, the Lions closer, saying he wants to try and pitch 170 kilometers an hour. And here we got Takashima poking around the high 140s. A little bit of a different look for this Buffaloes rotation.
Well, the thing to remember specifically, Mr. Zero is going to be able to use max effort on every pitch, knowing he doesn't have to go as far into a game. And the, mindset between a starter and a reliever is going to be quite different. You see this in MLB all the time, especially.
Philip V asking if 170 kilometers an hour is 100 miles. No, that's 162 kilometers. 170 would be like at the 105. On 3-1, that is lifted into just about where I was sitting when I was at Kyocera Dome in 2019. The advantage of the lid is that you don't have to worry about rainouts, and my game over at Koshien got rained out, so I bounced over to Kyocera Dome, sat in the outfield section, and watched a young pitcher by the name of Yoshinobu Yamamoto dice up the Hawks for 7 innings. That's right, I'm hipstering Yoshinobu Yamamoto. I was ahead of the curve. Full count pitch on the way to Nevin.
Also worth noting, of course, Koshien, the Summer Koshien tournament for high school is going on right now as well. It's been interesting to see how passionate they are. All prefectures get a representative to the big tournament, and I think they're almost done with the 3rd round now. Is that right? Somewhere in there?
That sounds about right. I was keeping an eye on the 2nd round earlier in the week. Full count on the way to Tyler Nevin. Runners at 2nd and 3rd. Oh, that plunks him at the back of the head. That was one just got away.
That slipped out of his fingers. But it looked like a glancing blow. I was about to say grazing and then glancing, and it became weird. Anyway, no, a bit of a glancing blow, not too bad. Already a confab.
Mop up the sweat. We know that dome can get a little stuffy. Looks like that was an attempt at a slider.
This is basically right between the shoulder blades spot. So now the bases are loaded. Pretty early start for Seibu here.
And this has to be an odd situation in NPB. We actually have 2 99s playing against each other. Ryon Murata and Yutaro Sugimoto. I mean, I know 0 and 00 are pretty common in Japan. 99 is not. Very interested to see how this goes. Sharply hit, but foul right at the 3rd base coach, who narrowly gets out of the way. You can see there on the replay. Oh, that might have tagged him? It looked close. Murata has to really crouch to get into something resembling a strike zone. 6th round selection in 2023. Fastball over for strike 2. And you saw he has 2 home runs on the season. His first one was earlier this month. 10th inning solo shot against the Marines. Takashima, making sure Wakatsuki has his sign set up. 0-2 on the way. Breaking ball, no dice. Looked like a curveball with that kind of speed.
It is one of the things. It is one of the things that's unique about our broadcast. We only get the one camera on whatever is happening. So here you get to see Sumida while Takashima is getting ready.
And we've had Sumida on these broadcasts, what, like 4 times now? That's a wild pitch. It's going to skitter away from Wakatsuki. All the runners will advance, and the Lions take the early lead 1-0 on the wild pitch.
Well, and what I was about to say before Takashima delivered, and I decided not to try interrupting him, but I can't tell if the infield was at a certain depth to try cutting the run or at double play depth. You don't really expect Murata to hit too many balls on the ground if he gets behind it. If he gets like really power into it, it's probably not going to be a ground ball. But if it is, it's going to be a quick double play chance. Not anymore, though.
Nevin at second, Takizawa at third. Hard hit ground ball right to Mune, and he's going to hold the runner. That's why Mune's got the Golden Glove.
And I believe
second
that's
out.
The second out. That's second out. That's right.
So that means second and third, 2 down for J.D. Davis, a midseason acquisition by the Lions, looking to fortify their foreign batter core and give a little help over at third base, move Tonosaki off the spot. First pitch from Takashima. Fastball high and inside. You may not be able to read kanji, or a katakana, but that was Astros, Mets, Giants, Athletics, Yankees, and Angels. J.D. Davis was actually an Anaheim Angel earlier this season. 72 career home runs for J.D. Curveball dropped in for a strike. Get an excellent view of the curveball grip on that one, too. Nice frame job by Wakatsuki. One on the way from Takashima. Tries the breaking ball again. This one misses outside. Loving the commentary from Sam P about the 5-year-old daughter and the toy fairy wand to give the game to the Lions. So that's why Wakatsuki had the wild pitch go past him. 2-1 on the way to J.D. Davis. Another bouncer and another wild pitch. Oh no! And this one just plunks Takizawa in the back of the head as he tries to field it back. Uncharacteristic issues corralling the baseball here from the former Golden Glover, Kenya Wakatsuki. Oh, it looks like it hit his throwing hand too. That's going to leave a mark. So, J.D. Davis now looking at a 3-1 count. The Buffaloes looking at back-to-back at-bats with wild pitches. Davis is going to send this one foul. 72 career home runs for JD. Coming up on 25 pitches in just the first inning. So much for the idea of getting length out of Takashima.
Well, I mean, they could still run with him for a while, but he's had a lot of work in this first inning already, for sure.
That's grounded foul. Tongu gives it a look. At least the scoring has been higher than the previous two games. Again, yesterday was a 1-0 shutout for the Lions. The day before that, 1-0 shutout win for the Buffaloes. So we've had the combined score in one inning alone. All the lights on the scoreboard are lit. J.D. Davis lifted to center field over the head of Kurebayashi and into center field. Nevin will score. And J.D. Davis picks up an RBI single. It's 3-0 Lions. You hear the Cebu faithful in left field serenading with their rendition of the Lions theme song. had a lot of practice this season. JD Davis says, "Tabemas." Give me a rice bowl to eat.
Tell you what, I was having one for dinner. It's pretty good.
Yeah, dinner over here at the Eastern household was pasta. I made my own tomato sauce.
Ooh, that's outside for ball one.
I decided
we now have the human highlight reel in stepping up to the plate.
That's right, Sosuke Genda, member of the Triple Gold Club in NPB. That's Premier 12, Olympic Gold, and WBC Championship. Genda lifts this to left. Nakagawa's going to give it a chase, and it's over his head. That's going to roll up against the wall. JD Davis will be rounding second. He's going to try and score on the play. Throws into the cutoff man. And JD Davis scores from first on a Sosuke Genda extra base hit.
Gabe's going hipster on Yoshinobu Yamamoto. I'm going hipster on Sosuke Genda because I remember willing his 1,000th career NPB hit into existence.
Ah, yes. Captured in immortality on one of our previous Midnight Matinees. The podcast jinx manifesting.
I don't know if that was a jinx, though, because I kind of wanted it to happen. Because there were signs in the ballpark that day. It's like, get to 1,000, yay! Very quick start for the Lions offense today. Already scored more than the last two games combined in the first inning, and Takashima getting up on 30 pitches in this first.
Intense look from Taito Takashima. That'd be Yuto Koga, the catcher, up at the plate. Breaking ball outside for ball one. There's a number of players in today's game that spent time in Australia as part of a finishing school, the Australian Baseball League. Today's pitcher, Takashima, played for the Melbourne Aces last year. Koga participated in the ABL back in 2023. One-0 on the way from Takashima. That's skied. That might be a dome scraper. Tongu's going to give it a look. That will end about as rough of a first inning as we've seen on these Midnight Matinees. Taito Takashima gives up 4 earned runs, all on hits. York's Buffaloes will send Taishi Hiraoka, Yuma Mune, and Ryo Ota to the plate in the bottom half of the first. Let's get stuck in, folks. This is the Pacific League Midnight Matinee. So I'm excited for our next broadcast as well. Not often I get to do a baseball for breakfast, but for our final broadcast of the season, it'll be the Chiba Lotte Marines hosting, I think it was the Hokkaido Nippon Ham Fighters, at a Saturday, September 27th, 5 a.m. Eastern. There's the defensive alignment for the Saitama Seibu Lions. Shota Hiranuma in left, Shinya Hasegawa in center, Shuta Tonosaki over in right field. Infielders are Tyler Nevin at first, Natsuko Takizawa at second, Sosuke Genda at short, and JD Davis at third, Yuto Koga behind the dish. And today's starting pitcher for the Lions, Chihiro Sumida. 3-3 in his last 6 starts. None of those against Oryx, though. You can see he's had plenty of high workloads in those games, commonly going above 100 pitches.
Sumida, one of the 2 workhorses that the Lions have, the other, of course, being Tatsuya Imai. Both of them have kind of hit the struggle a little bit. Obviously, long season baseball, you can't predict, but they have been a little bit more middling of late by comparison to how they started the year.
First pitch on the way from Sumida. Grounded to short. Genda will make short work of that. He's as automatic as they come. One pitch, one out. There'll be a lot of G6 in the scorebook tonight. Almost like I'm a Pontiac dealership.
Ba-doom.
Like I said, the jokes don't get any better from here, folks.
How increasingly unhinged the jokes become, it depends if the game stays at the expected length or not.
Fastball catches the outside corner for a strike. Yumamune, 3-time Golden Glover, 3-time Best 9 winner. Had a bit of a down year last year, but seems to have refound himself this year. That stroke to the opposite field. That'll roll into the corner. Hiranuma is going to collect it. Well, try to. And Yumamune's cruising into second with a double.
It's worth mentioning that Mune had quite a rough patch early on in the season. Ended up getting himself down to the farm, trying to work things out. And since his return, he's been about back to what we expected. But the early season was not great for him.
To the point where we had today's center fielder, Taishi Hiraoka, taking over at third base. One of the players in the batting race coming up to the plate, Ryo Ota, was at one point leading it. Now he's settled into second behind the Eagles shortstop, Itsuki Murabayashi. 304 on the season, 7 home runs, 4th in on-base percentage as well. Changeup from Sumida. Misses high. I did not catch what that is. Oh, apparently with runners in scoring position, Ota is batting .325, so a little bit better. Lofts this one to right. That's going to be given a look by Tonosaki. Deep enough for Mune to tag, and he will. Going to give it a look, but that will do for Ota.
2 outs already, but they do have a runner at third base, so who knows? They might be able to get a run to respond to the offensive, air quotes, onslaught of Seibu in the top of the half of the inning.
One thing I've noticed about Chihiro Sumida, each of his last 2 seasons, his record has been 9-10. He's still looking for that first year to get to double-digit wins. His batters have staked him to a 4-run lead so far. Yuma Tongu with a runner at third and 2 down. Former catcher converted to first base and then won himself a batting title. With runners in scoring position, you see there, batting .346, 29 RBI. Tongu in the top 10 in both batting average and RBI this season. Having him healthy, one of the reasons why the Buffaloes were so good in the first half. You see some mid-90s heat from Chihiro Sumida, dotting the outside corner. Every so often when teams come up with these unique uniforms, I wonder, are they actually going to switch? Like the Buffaloes look, they've had that word mark that they've worn on their uniform here for at least 4 years. The Lions, I love the cap logo. 0-2 on the way. Chopped on the ground. Genda will nullify the run and send us to the top of the second. Shinya Hasegawa, then back to the top of the order in Hiranuma and Takizawa. Midnight matinee. Through 1, Lions 4, Buffaloes 0. Oh, Koyomi Matic mentioning the Earth uniform. Yeah, the Buffaloes have had some fashion crimes in the past. I remember the denim look, or the flannel look from a couple seasons before then.
Oof.
Nowhere near as bad as the other Kansai area team, who I insist needs to lose their Photoshop license. Luke's asking, why can't y'all do more games? Unfortunately, we have to get agreement from the teams themselves to be able to do these broadcasts. So If you do want to catch more Pacific League baseball and you're located in North America, you can rely on our partners, FTF Sports and WatchDingo.com. Dingo TV carries every single Pacific League game for free, just without commentary, and you can catch games with English commentary on tape delay over on FTF Sports. Fitzpatrick's asking, is the Lions cap logo new or a throwback? That is new! It's a faux back, technically, and you see there the standings. Oryx Buffalo's got to be looking over their shoulder. Rockerton Eagles only 2 games back. Hawks have been running away with this month and have built up a 3-game lead on the Fighters. Hawks and Marines, Eagles and Fighters, the other 2 games going on, one of which is happening already.
And the other one won't happen until hopefully long after we're both asleep.
This is true. Shinya Hasegawa watches strike 1, sail past. I've noticed him a lot in the top 10 plays of the week, and with Manaya Nishikawa getting a break from today's game, he's starting at center. That's up the middle. That's just bad BABIP luck. Hasegawa is aboard safely with a single.
Or good, depending on who you're rooting on. For the hitter, it's good BABIP luck.
This is true.
I don't know if it would have been catchable even if Takashima hadn't tipped it with his glove, but that doesn't make it any easier for middle infielders to have to play the ricochet.
As someone who's played middle infield in softball recently, I know that feel, bro. Also, as a pitcher who keeps getting tagged by his batters, I have more bruises than errors, at least.
I mean, I'd take more bruises than errors. I mean, more errors than bruises is just a deflating thing.
This is true. Seiya Watanabe, Pacific League Rookie of the Year, most likely, having the day off, so Shota Hiranuma taking over in left field. Former member of the Hokkaido Nipponham Fighters from 2016 to 2021, so he's got a Japan Series ring, thanks to some guy named Shohei Ohtani. Slider misses away, ball 2. I was doing some digging on Hiranuma. Turns out he won Koshien as a pitcher, and then converted to infielder and then outfielder. Two 2-0 on the way from Takashima after a brief pause. Misses low and away, ball 3.
Thanks to our contacts in Japan who are helping us get these games on the schedule and running the broadcasts from the Japanese side for us, Shota Hiranuma's wife announced just yesterday that the second child was born. It's his first daughter. So we'll see if dad power comes into play here somehow.
Dad power is definitely a thing. That's a get-me-over strike from Takashima.
Oh, he was taken all the way. 3-0 count. Takashima's had trouble finding the strike zone. No reason to force the issue unless you see something you really like.
Three 3-1 on the way from Takashima. That makes the count full. So I'm curious if we're going to start seeing that change-up that Takashima has in his unique arsenal. Right now it seems to be just a lot of fastballs and the occasional curve.
Dad power doesn't help on that one as he pops out just inside the third base line to Mune. But with how fast the Lions went in the first inning already, we are looping the batting order. We actually got to talk about Shota Hiranuma this time.
I do appreciate that, yes. What I like about Natsuo Takizawa is that he's getting the chance to play with the player he models himself after, Sosuke Genda. And yeah, taking a look at the two when they field double plays, you can definitely tell there's some similarities. Choking up on that bat, not even a 2-strike count. He's got a 2-strike approach.
I think I've seen a lot more hitters in NPB that do this as opposed to MLB, where they're not at the bottom of the bat. Like there's a little bit of space between their hands and the knob. We'll see if it's more extreme if he gets into a 2-strike count.
At that point, just his hands are going to be up towards the where the black and the white parts meet.
It's going to be on the barrel, yeah.
There's that curveball again for strike 2. Luke's asking how many games are left in the season. You got another month and a half, so about 40 games per team.
Yeah, so when the standings came up earlier, I believe Saitama is at 104 going into today's contest. The total number by the end of the season will be 143. So we're just inside 40 for both of these teams, and it's similar across the rest of the Pacific League.
Must be stuffy in the dome. Takashima looks like he's laboring a little bit. 41 pitches through 1 1/3. Shout out in the chat if this is your first Pacific League broadcast. And they caught him in a rundown. Hasegawa removed from the base paths. Smooth move there by Takashima. Picking up a free out on the base paths. Got the jump and stopped Tongu, saying, hey, over here.
Usually in that situation, it could be Tongu, but I honestly think it probably was Wakatsuki just taking stock of the situation.
That's why he's a Golden Glove and has thrown out base runners at a 47% clip as of last season.
So with the helpful pickoff, Takashima now in a 2-2 count with 2 outs in the top of the second here.
Called strike 3. Fastball finds the inner half. A backwards K means it's a 1-2-3 inning, even though one runner did indeed get aboard. Nishino, Sugimoto, and Wakatsuki coming up for the Buffaloes through 1.5. Lions 4. Oryx 0. Drew Merrill asking, when is the NPB draft? NPB drafts are during the off-season, and that'll be around November. If you haven't seen one, go take a look on YouTube for some of the footage. It is high drama to see who's been nominated by which teams, who's going to win the lottery. It makes for amazing television.
Decidedly different from MLB and most of the Big Four sport drafts in North America, because you obviously can't draft players that have already been drafted. So if you take Bryce Harper with the first pick, you can't pick him at the second. But any team that wants to submit a claim for the player can pick Bryce Harper, and then his rights are awarded. To throw it into other terms for our North American fans over here. Also, please, as we watch this highlight, please go ahead and chime in the chat with where you are watching this from. We'd love to see what kind of reach we've got tonight or today, wherever you may be.
So, Luke, you can find the draft on the official NPB YouTube channel, or at least the highlights of that. It's one of those things where the leagues don't have the rights to the content, but the league itself does.
It's kind of hard to think about it this way with MLB set up the way that it is, but it's kind of like the previous structure where the American and National League were two separate entities, so they couldn't do rights on like broadcasting a draft, but the full league, Nippon Professional Baseball, can.
Masahiro Nishino getting on base at a 315 clip. Here's that big looping curveball from Sumida. Misses for ball 2. Nishino, a utility infielder type, but does have a high batting average, and that often gets him some opportunities to DH. Sumida worked such a quick inning, we didn't really get a chance to get into his pitch mix much. He's proudest of his changeup. That is laced to the left field gap. It's going to fall in front of Hiranuma. And Nishino with a leadoff single here in the bottom of the second. A lot of folks watching from California. One from Naval Air Station. Very cool. If I read your elite speak correctly, Gabe Feely. One Gabe to another. How goes? Makeup games, Luke, are taking place after the rest of the regular season, so late September, early October. They just plunk them in whenever they can.
There are a couple of extra off days coming up in the month of August, and I don't think that they're trying to fit them in there. I think they're just waiting until the very end. So the start of the playoffs sometimes delays. Let me rephrase that. It's not that the playoff is delayed. It's that there is a purposeful gap to make sure that all of the games are played, so they get them in that little window.
There you see the Osaka D-Bred Bulls. The cheering section out in right field. Loving Yutaro Sugimoto. Big swing and a miss over a breaking ball. That may be the changeup that Sumida's so proud of. Because it does have a lot of drop. His best pitch, I'd argue, especially this season, is the forkball. I was doing a brief segment on that in the podcast, which you can hear right here on this YouTube channel. According to Pacific League Insight, Sumida's forkball has the best opponent's average in the Pacific League. 104 against, as Sugimoto swings and misses for the first out in the bottom of the second.
First strikeout for Sumida in this game.
There's that forkball grip. You see how much that thing dives. Sam joining from New Zealand. Very nice.
Hey.
This is a reasonable time zone for you.
Ironically, Kenya Wakatsuki, it says there he was born in Saitama. Wonder if he grew up watching the line.
Wakatsuki actually has a 4-game hitting streak entering today's game, and believe it or not, in these black and red uniforms, he's batting .533 over 30 at-bats.
What can I say? Inspired by Michael Jordan? That's against
Possibly.
Left-handed pitchers. He's hitting .407 for the season. That's a very good number.
He's also the longest-serving Buffaloes batter. Wakatsuki has been with the club since 2014. And he already had 3 walk-off hits earlier this season. That's the Genda, on to Takizawa, on to first. Not in time.
Hustling down the line. That's some great hustle there to stay out of a 6-4-3.
Sharply hit. Nice turn there by Takizawa. Just Wakatsuki showing a little bit of extra hustle there. CO tuning in from my neck of the woods. How's it going there, E? Mexico City, very nice. Big curveball there from Sumida. My favorite is when it starts getting into like the 100 kilometers per hour. Almost EFIS territory, but that highway speed curveball is something fun to watch.
Slow curve. I think Hiroya Miyagi throws it very well, speaking of the Buffaloes.
Ah, yes, another lefty too. It's wild to see how Sumida's developed. Hard hit on the ground. Stopped by Davis. Throw on to first. Little foreign connection there. 5-3 the putout.
Well, I mean, he's repaying that earlier RBI, I guess.
Through 2. Lions still lead 4-0. Oh, Siho was at Kyodome when Kurabayashi hit a grand slam. Oh, that's nice. I gotta get myself back to Kyocera Dome.
Depends. You bringing a personal fan with you?
Funny you mentioned that. One of the giveaways for today's game, actually, is a Japanese paper fan. Harisen, it's called. First 10,000 fans get one. Open question if it's for cooling or for smacking your idiot friend Manzai style. I think Smash Bros. The fan. That's what we're talking about here.
Koyomi Matic in the chat asking if we can make sure our next game has Shidai umpiring. For those of you who don't know, yeah, that's a very iconic strikeout call.
I always wonder who buys him the throat lozenges after the game.
I may have accidentally killed our colleague Mike Bealey's ears one time trying to make an imitation of that without any warning whatsoever.
Oh, jeez. Question from CO is Shunpeita Yamashita pitching already? In fact, he had a rehab start yesterday, so he's starting to ramp back up again. Good to see.
If we get Yamashita back, it's good news, but I don't know how much LB's going to be over what's left of the season. We've already gone to the bullpen.
Into the game.
Rasei Katayama?
I think it's pronounced Rako, but yeah, rookie pitcher coming into the game. 1.53 ERA over 12 appearances. Drafted in the 6th round last offseason from the NTT East corporate team. We got to talk about the corporate teams, the whole structure of that in the next break.
Gabe's history, or Gabe's history corner on the podcast. Raiku Katayama. I just checked our notes.
Thank you very much. Troy having a pint, watching from Chicago. Hey, put it up on the big screen, man. It's not like there's any other sports going on right now.
Well, at least not in the U.S. at this time of night, no.
That's true. Katayama got his first winning decision back on August 1st against the Fighters. Gets started here against Tonosaki with a ball. Look for that fastball topping out at 151. And a 6-pitch mix, slider, changeup, curve, cutter, and fork. So I'm just going to start calling them breaking balls so I don't get it wrong.
That's obviously a breaking ball.
That looked like a curveball to me. 2-1 the count.
Yeah, fair enough.
Tiberius Zuel. Yeah, we do one English broadcast every single month. So our next one will be Saturday, September 27th at 5 a.m. as the Marines host the Fighters. CO, I'm actually broadcasting from Toronto myself. Matt Seivert is joining from Colorado.
Mile high connection. Hey, it's better to watch this baseball than to watch my local team.
Even in this broadcast, the Rockies are catching strays.
Hey, I'm a Rockies fan. What does that tell you? Full count here.
Ooh, breaking ball but high. That'll be a walk. First walk of the game. This one's going to Tonosaki. Lots of fans being glad that they made the trip in from Tokorozawa to Osaka to watch this game.
Or the possibility of people who are local now to Osaka who grew up in the Saitama area. Definitely a possibility.
Or Fukuoka. I mean, that is where this Lions franchise got its start.
I remember being able to ride the Shinkansen all the way from Kumamoto, where I lived, all the way to Osaka without having to change trains if I wanted to. It looked good, but not good enough.
Let's take a look at this camera. Yeah, that was inside. Wakatsuki attempting the frame job. It's close. So Phil Nevin's son I had to double check. No, Phil Nevin did not play in NPB. Just sounds like a name that he would have.
He's also just a number 1 overall pick previously, so yeah, notable name.
Former Baltimore Oriole, Detroit Tiger, and Oakland Athletic. CO wore a Kurebayashi shirt last Tuesday at the Sky Dome. I mean, I'm rocking the Yamamoto road jersey right now myself. One on the way.
Yeah,
Looped into center field. That'll work for a base hit. Tyler Nevin's gotten on board both times now. 1 for 1 with a hit by pitch. Funny, CO mentions wearing a J shirt at Kyocera Dome. Thanks to Pacific League TV having an archive going back to 2012, you can spot me and my best friend in the third base infield seats at a game in August 2014 when the Marines hosted the Eagles. Looking, I think it's the second or the third inning, Toshiaki Imae makes a grab on a foul ball right near third base. And there's me and my best friend wearing Blue Jays jerseys, smiling and clapping. First and second, nobody out for Rayon Murata. Chop this one right to Ota. Nice little looper. Can't get it past the infield. And that's 1 away here. Runners do not advance. Here's the replay.
Kind of got sawed off there.
Yeah, I was going to say, it looked like he could have driven that. Just no dice.
Well, the issue wasn't. The issue was that he hit it too close to the handle, so he couldn't really get much. If he'd been like milliseconds faster on the swing, he might have hit more barrel, and it would have gone a lot further.
Gabe commenting he got hit by a foul ball at Kyocera Dome by Koki Yamaguchi of the Marines. I almost caught a foul ball when I was doing my Japan trip in 2019 at Mizuho PayPay Dome. But I looked at it and I thought, do I really want to navigate the Japanese medical system? Do I really want to break some fingers?
Do you want to be going to a hospital in a foreign language country?
It's a replay of JD Davis's RBI single from earlier this game. No, I wound up breaking a finger tripping over the curb here in Toronto. I'm pretty sure I bellyached about it on some of our off-season podcasts. For those of you just tuning in, hey, glad you could make it. And make sure you subscribe. We got plenty of English language content and Hispanic content, or Spanish language content. Oh no, that's thrown into center field. Everyone's safe, and Tonosaki will score. Throwing error on Katayama. Oh no. Turns a double play into an RBI. That's got to be an E1.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's probably not an earned run, so it's not necessarily going to hit the earned run average, but...
For Katayama, yeah. Yeet. Oh, if Ota was just like 2 inches taller.
Hey, if you put Reo Murata out there, he probably catches that, right?
That's true. I just wouldn't trust him for the range. Kurebayashi, giving some indication. First and second, 1 out.
Can you tell that Gabe is following the Buffaloes most of the season on our podcast weeklies? If you needed any evidence, here we go.
I will say, yeah, that's what I was trying to get out. A blurb, a shameless plug for the podcast. Where you see Sosuke Genda's RBI double from 2 innings ago. And our Spanish language content, we really should rename this Pacific League Americas at some point.
Pacific League TV Americas. I can see it right now.
Well, it's not Pacific League Deportes. That much I know for certain.
I don't think we should go that far. Or else you'd really have people wondering why English is on the stream.
I've referred to him as the human highlight reel. How does 7 straight Golden Gloves from 2018 to 2024 sound? No one else has won it in almost a decade. Get me over fastball, strike one. And Genda is durable as well. Played in all 143 games last season.
Koyomi Matic picking us up in the chat. Deportes Liga del Pacífico would be the Spanish language name.
I know one of our Japanese colleagues helping us out broadcasting is trilingual. So he actually does have... he can probably help us out with the translation, too. I actually read he was the one who did the interview with Ariel Martinez on PacificLeague.com a little while ago.
That was really
I'm
neat
impressed.
to see. Kudos to Shintaro's behind the scenes here.
As Genda fouls us off to the back screen. Top of the third, runners at first and second. Tiberius Zuel. They have no quarrel with Ham. They are just the fighters. Nippon Ham is the team owner. Pierre mentioning exactly what my quote is referencing. Thank you. Swing and a miss. Sosuke Genda down on strikes. Katayama picks up after the error and gets it to 2 down with 2 on.
I think that's the second strikeout for the Buffaloes today. I think there's one looking in now, the swinging from Sosuke Genda.
That's correct. Takashima got Takizawa looking back in the top of the second.
Both the Keystone Cops. Got it.
Okay, we got to call him that now. You can't just drop that reference and not expect me to remember it.
That's fine. You can do that. Why do you think I said it?
Yuto Koga, the catcher, took over the starting job when Tomoya Mori left town. He's played in 100 games each of the last 2 seasons. And each of those last 2 has been above average for stopping base runners. 28 for 68 in 2023, 20 for 62 last season. Gabe Feely asking, any chance of playoff games with English commentary? We've done it before. We got special permission. We had Jimbo and Mike doing a baseball for breakfast as the Hawks and Fighters tussled at Mizuho Pepe Dome. Bounced in the dirt. Big curveball from Katayama. No bite.
A lot of bite on that curveball, though. Holy mackerel, that had a lot of spin on it. Ah, yes, the rosin dust. It's going to show up on the black. Don't hit yourself, Katayama.
It'll get dusted off. It's fine.
It'll wash out with the sweat drenching off of them.
Fastball low for ball 2. I noticed Pierre was talking about the foreigners that the Lions had last season. One was Franchi Cordero, and I can't remember who the other one was. Jesus Aguilar, that was it.
Yeah, foreign hitters-wise, it was those 2. Aguilar definitely did not succeed at the level he wanted, and Cordero's not even with the team. Is he still in NPB? No, I'm thinking of Leandro Cedeno. That's a different thing.
Yeah, Cedeno went from the Buffaloes to the Lions.
So much for that signing working out.
2s across the board here in the count. Torso Dog's here.
And
good, we were waiting for you.
And 22 pitches until there. Hit high. Does the ball go far? Call? Nope. It's gone.
Not quite.
Not quite. Ball go far.
1 run scores. And that makes it 5-0 Lions. Katayama enters the game and gives up 1 run on a biffed throw to second. Bit of a rough go here for the Buffaloes, but to be honest, that's kind of been their July, or their August.
Ooh, good promo. Uniforms.
Beats 夏の陣 Supported by Samty.
You see a lot of pictures in that promotion video for the Natsu no Jin uniforms, and a lot of them have not performed quite up to the usual par, and I think that's the reason that Oryx has kind of hit the skids a little bit here.
Yeah, I mean, they're 4-8 in August. It's been a bit of a slog, and Eagles have been able to capitalize and catch up. I will say, though, I was chatting with Matt before we started broadcasting. These Buffaloes uniforms are giving me, like, retro Hankyu Braves vibes, like from back in the 40s and 50s. Something about black uniforms with pinstripes and with red accents. Looks sharp.
I mean, I'd want to wear it. Pinstripes are ish slimming. And space black and red accents as opposed to the other way around. I don't know if there are any NFL fans in the chat. Imagine there are a few, but Andy Reid between the Philadelphia Eagles coaching job and the Kansas City Chiefs coaching job. It's not like he gained all that weight. He just looks way worse in red.
Keita Nakagawa playing left field for the few games with Ryoma Nishikawa out. Don't worry, Buffaloes fans. He's expected to be back on the 19th. He's already rehabbing down on the farm teams. And you can watch those farm games if you subscribe to PacificLeague.com. Every home game in the Pacific League, plus every farm team. A rare ball that eludes Genda, and Keita Nakagawa's aboard with a first pitch single. That's rarer than the 5-star plays he makes. You mean he's not automatic?
You did say as close as automatic as you can get.
Goodness. Nakagawa, of course, on his bobblehead day 2 years ago, provided the walk-off winner for the Buffaloes in our 2023 Kyocera Dome Midnight Matinee. It was Yuma Mune last year. Wonder if there's a hero coming up in this game. One player that PacificLeague.com actually highlighted was Taishi Hiraoka. Kind of has Sumida's number in their last two matchups. Hiraoka's had a multi-hit game.
Though it's fair to ask the question, are those all against Sumida, or is it just throughout the whole game?
Sumida specifically.
Okay.
Hiraoka, a former Yakult Swallow, got picked up by the Buffaloes and has really found his form here. Never quite got his swing when he was with the Jingu Yogurt Birds, and now he does. Torso Dog trying to make some combinations and give the Buffaloes their energy. Oh wait, that's Eagle, sorry. Torso Dog and Luke. CO getting confused. Yeah, the Golden Eagles, not the football ones. Zachary asking how the former Ranger Kohei Arihara has done this year. He just won MVP of the month of July. So he's pretty good. He went, what, 4-0 in 4 starts?
Also fair to say this was a fun little quirk of the schedule that the Hawks have 3 10-game winners, and each of their 10th wins came in consecutive days.
Sumida lights up the radar gun.
Charge. Arihara was first, and then Levon Moinello, and then Tomohisa Ozeki.
Yeah, Ozeki's been a revelation for the Hawks this season. I'm impressed.
As if they needed more. Well, maybe they needed more pitching, but as if they needed more revelations.
2-2 on the way. Chopped. That'll be foul. Hit hard by Hiraoka, but misses overall.
I mean, think about it this way. Having Sumida's number already is a good thing, but the more times that you see a pitcher, the advantage goes to the batter. It's not like the pitcher can continually reinvent his arsenal all the time.
This is true. So Sumida, coming into today's game, 5th in the Pacific League in wins, 5th in ERA, 5th in strikeouts. Should rebrand his jersey to number 5. Won monthly MVP in March and April when he had that ridiculous hot streak and winning streak to start the season. Him and Imai were just two very good players for the Lions rotation.
Well, and you saw how well they succeeded early on because of that. Runner goes and is thrown out by Yuto Koga, supposedly. I think it was pretty close.
Was that a strike him out, throw him out double play?
That's a challenge.
Yeah,
we'll find out.
Kishida's
challenging that.
They call it a requesto here, which I love.
Well, I mean, it kind of is.
A little more polite.
They take another look.
Challenge or request.
That is very, very Japanese, though. So that's entirely fair. Also,
let's take a look at this
Mission Impossible
changeup.
theme.
Called strike 3, so got the strikeout. Let's see where Nakagawa's foot ends. Oh, that looks like he's safe.
That's pretty darn close. I mean, from the initial angle, he looked like it was bang, bang, but I think he's in there.
Yeah.
I think he's in. Good challenge by Kishida. That'll give Nakagawa a stolen base. I think, let me see if I can find the number of it real quick.
Nice overhead view. Yeah, I don't know how you can get more conclusive than that.
Well, something about being conclusive to overturn a call that exists.
I have a house rule, something that I would impose if I was ever made commissioner. If the replay review can't figure it out in a minute, call on the field stands.
If that call is overturned, that will be Nakagawa's 8th steal of the campaign.
Not normally a base stealer. This Oryx Buffalo's offense mostly runs on gap hits and dingers. Less so than the Fighters, but Buffaloes did have an amazing offense to start the season. Gabe Feely bringing up a famous YouTube vlogger on the Bay Stars and his belly aching. Don't like it? Pitch better.
Oof.
There we go. Call is overturned. Nakagawa is safe. That'll be a runner at second with one out for Yuma Mune, who hit that scorching double the other way. I think YouTube Man is injured at the moment, or at least last I heard. Means he's got more time to promote his app. Bottom of the third, runner at second. Yuma Mune already has a double today. We're mentioning how the brief trip to the farm team helped him out.
Genda is nearly automatic. I mean, he did just miss a ground ball earlier this inning. We can't say he's completely automatic, but that was an easy pop fly.
True.
F6 for number 3? I can't remember what Mooney's jersey number is.
Mooney's jersey number is 6.
F6 for 6. Love it.
Yeah, I always keep track of the scores in the scorebook. I bought in the Japanese Baseball Hall of Fame. They have a vending machine for these down there.
A vending machine for them. Yep, that's really cool. Maybe when I go back to Japan at some point, I should grab myself some scorebooks because it'd be good for this.
Exactly. Fitzpatrick's asking, how does the farm system work in NPB again? Every team has at least one farm team. Most only have the one.
I was about to say.
The Hawks are a bit of an exception in that they have like 3.
Yeah.
But players can be called up and sent down as many times as they need to in a season. It just takes a 10-day gap from deactivation to reactivation. You can only have 70 players on your organizational roster, but you can sign players to developmental contracts who don't count towards that.
And if
They're
you
stuck
want
on the
to
farm team.
foul that off, if you want to sign them to a full contract, you basically shed the third digit off their uniform number, and they are now part of the 70.
How are the Hawks able to
worth-
have 3 farm teams? Money.
Yeah, well, there's that. I was going to say... I was going to say, though, the other thing to remember with Japan is that there's a strong system of other leagues that aren't necessarily top flight NPB, but we mentioned, was it...
The Industrial League,
pitcher?
where Takashima
yeah,
came
the Industrial
from.
League. Was it Takashima, or was it also the guy who relieved him? I think
it was just Takashima.
Anyway, they have the industrial leagues, and that's a really good source of like players continue to hone their craft. It's not part of the official organization, but it's still a training ground for them, and they can get drafted from there and eventually become MPB players as well.
Ditto for the independent leagues, the Baseball Challenge League,
yeah,
and the Shikoku Island League Plus. Fun fact, Munenori Kawasaki still playing in the BCL. Oh, photo game. We're trying to pretend to be a catcher, I think. There we go.
I think so. Oh, I have to catch Miyagi here. Do you just hold still, or do you move?
I think you're supposed to hold still.
The hand's too high. Come on. Yes, Mune is number 6. Okay.
Hello, hello, Grave Walker. Welcome on in. Quick out-of-town scoreboard update. Scoreless over at Mizuho PayPay Dome. Yuji Nishino and Leva and sorry, forgot who's pitching for the Hawks tonight.
Moinello.
It is Moinello. Scoreless through 4.
I saw somebody in the chat talking about Arihara losing yesterday, so that would track.
And as for the final game of the Pacific League schedule for tonight, Miguel Yahure and Hiromi Ito going toe-to-toe at Rakuten Mobile Park Miyagi.
But that game doesn't even start until 5 p.m. Japan time, so they've got 3 hours to go.
Yep. Shinya Hasegawa singled and then was erased on a pickoff. I know Japan doesn't track tutoborans, but that was pretty much a tutoboran.
Was very much a two-plan.
Check swing. Did he go around? No, he did not. 1-2 the count. So Katayama going for a second inning here. Staring down Shinya Hasegawa. Shinya's a golfer in the offseason, as you can see from that swing. He plays with his former teammate Aito. The mononymous Aito, to be precise. Gotta love guys who go into the league as mononymous folks. Aito in Raito. Hiroshi, who's one member of the Buffalo's bullpen.
Yeah, I was going to say he's in this bullpen.
And of course, my homeboy, Ginji. Called strike on Hiranuma. Singled and scored off the first pitch of the game against Taito Takashima. Can they do something else like playing video games? I mean, isn't Kaima Taida a streamer on like Twitch or something? I know he's got a YouTube channel.
I believe.
Beautiful play by Yuma Mune. Spinorama throw.
I mean, that could be a hello future whomever. I don't know,
That's true. It's not always future Gabe now. We got all 3 of us doing the top 10 plays.
I wouldn't be completely amazed. I'll say that. That's a really fun, like 360 spin to make
360 no scope.
Speaking of streaming.
Exactly. 2 down now for Natsuo Takizawa.
Tiny highlight reel is not much of a highlight reel at the plate, but he did get a hit in the first inning.
Yep. So Grave Walker asking how the score got where it is now. Stay tuned. Our games always include a mid-game highlight package, which is really neat. So you'll be able to see that in about another inning plus. Chop back to the pitcher, Katayama, on the money.
That's
1,
a
2,
good
3
throw
inning.
over to first. You had to make up for the last one to second.
That's true. Tongu, Nishino, and Sugimoto coming up for the Buffaloes, looking for their first run of the game. It's all Lions so far, 5-0, here on the Pacific League Midnight Matinee. So, brief discussion about the industrial leagues, because there's a couple of players on the rosters who are involved in them. Another Buffaloes reliever, Kaede Yokoyama, for example, was drafted from the Sega Sammy corporate team. But basically, it's another way to ensure you can keep your baseball skills intact and possibly get drafted if you can't make it out of high school and you can't make it out of university. Plus, if that still doesn't work out, hey, you got a job.
I do think it was interesting. I saw comments the other day from an article citing Bryce Harper about he would eliminate the lowest levels of minor leagues and have the people go to school so that they'd have something to do if baseball does not work out as a career. The industrial leagues are a testament to the idea that you can have a career and still play baseball, which overall, a good thing. Not everybody's going to make the pros. There are only 6 teams in the Pacific, 12 in NPB, and at this point, I should say. And so it's hard to crack those rosters. It really is.
That is true. Brief look there at Sumida's stat line. We are in Maddox watch territory right now. 3 hits, yes, but only 34 pitches.
2 strikeouts for Sumida as well.
I was doing my research on him, and I love this anecdote that's on his Japanese Wikipedia page that after he got drafted and he was reporting to his first physical with the Lions, he left his wallet behind in Nagasaki where his family lived. He had to borrow 10,000 yen from the scout who picked him up just to cover his living expenses until he could get it again.
Goodness gracious.
Tongu lost his... But playable, lovely rundown by Hasegawa.
Hello, future? I mean...
Hard to say. More like hello, mushball.
That's definitely true. But, it was... it was a relatively garden variety catch, but he did have to go a long way. So who knows? We'll see.
I'm not saying that the ball's deadened.
But I'm not
saying that.
Can you tell that our rapport has improved in year 2?
One hopes. Sumida deals here to Nishino, high floater. Now, it's interesting that Nishino is a lefty in this DH spot. You'd expect maybe Sugimoto DHing and another outfielder in right. Another curveball. This one finds the strike zone.
Platoon matchups don't seem to be as important to NPB lineup construction as they are in MLB, for sure.
Why do you think that is?
I think it's because the hitting skill of the Japanese, the bat-to-ball skills, are so much better developed and stay more consistent throughout their career than that of a slugger who's always trying to hit home runs.
Fair enough.
But that's just kind of it is somewhat speculative on my part.
Sumida looking at a 3-1 count to Nishino. Low, ball 4. First walk issued by Sumida. And the Buffaloes have a runner aboard with 1 out in the bottom of the 4th.
Speaking of walks issued by Lions pitchers, it is interesting to see how Tatsuya Imai has cut his walk rate this year.
How much has he cut
led
it?
the league multiple times with walks the last couple, but now he's doing pretty well.
Yutaro Sugimoto 2022 Pacific League home run leader. He leads the Buffaloes with 10. Drafted the same year as Masataka Yoshida. But unlike Yoshida finding prominence early and then winning a Japan series, Sugimoto took a little bit longer to ramp up and then won a Japan series alongside him. He's really a mainstay of this Buffaloes lineup now. Another big cut over a forkball.
You want to talk about bat-to-ball skills. When Masataka Yoshida was in the Oryx lineup, he probably had one of the best hit tools in all of the Pacific League. Like, just as a pure hitter, his ability was off the charts. Which is why the Red Sox wanted him.
If the Red Sox ever give him up, I bet you he'd have an easy home right back here. As Sugimoto strikes out for the second time today.
So walk and then a strikeout for Sumida.
That looked like a changeup as well with that grip. A lot of vertical movement on it. Kenya Wakatsuki. We mentioned his caught stealing rate last season, 27 for 57. And this season so far, 3 walk-off hits already. All in the first half of the season. The Pacific League YouTube, the Japanese one, put out a highlight reel just of walk-off hits. There's a lot of Wakatsuki. And he's been batting pretty well this season, too. I love it. He's one of my favorite Buffaloes.
One of the longest tenured. It gives you a lot more time to appreciate him. Fouls that off into the seats.
Well, I mean, I do only have the Oryx Road jersey, and I think it'd be neat if, to pair with my Yamamoto jersey, I get his battery mate. Wakatsuki and Yamamoto won Best Battery for 3 consecutive seasons, and then Yamamoto dipped to the Dodgers. Quick courtesy check-in over on Nishino at first. 347 bat on base percentage. Pretty good for Kenya. Oh, 2. Swing and a miss. Sumida works out of a teeny little jam. I don't think the Maddox is in order right now, but dang. Fantastic work there.
Average-wise, pitch per inning, he's probably off the pace, but he could easily have another inning like the first that he didn't even throw 10, and that would help.
Tonosaki, Nevin, and Murata coming up for the Lions, who lead this game 5-0 through 4. For those of you who are new to NPB, I do have to give a little bit of extra context around Oryx Buffaloes and how they wound up in this ballpark. Approximately 20 years ago, the Oryx Blue Wave, Ichiro's old club, and the Osaka Kintetsu Buffaloes merged. The Oryx franchise is the one that continued, but they took the Buffaloes name and their ballpark. This Kyocera Dome was the home to the Osaka Kintetsu Buffaloes from its construction in 2001 until the merger. And they were not that good for the first 2 decades post-merger. And then 2021 happened, when they won the Pacific League pennant, going worst to first, lost to the Swallows, beat them the following year, and then lost to the Tigers in a classic Japan series in 2023. As for these Lions, most Japan series championships among the Pacific League teams, most Pacific League pennants too. A lot of that coming from the 1980s Invincible Seibu era.
I bet SoftBank's coming for them in terms of Japan Series titles, though.
That's true.
Dynasty being what that was when I was in Japan and completely missing out, which I will never not regret. I lived right there, and I never saw a game. That is laced down the third base line. Ooh. Some of you may be hearing the whistles For those of you who haven't checked out a game of ours before, there are whistles blown by attendants when foul balls are coming so people can like not get nailed by them. Fun little atmospheric thing. That's upstairs, ball one.
Now, I have to comment on this because we talk about it every single time Tonosaki's in a game. His nickname is Apple Punch because his family owns an apple farm. And he apple punches this one to the right center field gap.
First there's a double for Tonosaki.
First hit of the game for him, too.
He did have the sack. I thought he had a hit in the previous at bat. I know he did the sacrifice bunt.
I thought that was a walk.
Oh, it was a walk. He was on base. That's definitely true.
Yep.
All the way out to the wall back there. Pretty good view of the Owen Don and left for the Seibu Lions faithful. And here comes Tyler Nevin at the plate. He got a hit his second time up. He's been on base both times. He's got hit first, and then he got a hit the next. And that's in there for strike one from Katayama, who is now entering his third inning of work. He's thrown practically more pitches than we had from Taito Takashima.
That's true. One last thought on the whole Kintetsu Buffaloes thing. Finding merch of theirs is incredibly difficult because Kintetsu, the railway company, still owns the trademark on the logo. If you look on some of the secondhand auction sites, though, you can get stuff. I am the proud owner of a Tuffy Roads road jersey. It's one of the highlights of my collection.
I can see why you'd be proud of that. That's fair. That's
Tuffy
fair.
to the hall.
Maybe for MVP. Nevin looks at the ball low, and that's gonna get the count back to 1-2.
Triple Y asking any updates on Shunpei Yamashita. He actually had a rehab start yesterday. Let me double check what the stat line was there. Three and 2/3 innings, 5 hits, 1 earned run, 6 strikeouts, 86 pitches, sat 96 miles an hour and touched 98. So Shunpei might be back. That's a big boost for the rotation.
It would be a big boost for the rotation. 2-2 now on Nevin.
Tony Montana asking, anyone know where I can watch SoftBank Hawks? Go check out our partners at Dingo TV, watchdingo.com. They've got the Hawks and Marines game that's running concurrent to this one, just no commentary. You'll have to give it yourself, wake up your neighbors, do all that fun stuff.
Also worth noting, if you subscribe to Pacific League TV, you should be able to watch that game and English commentary as it happens. That's grounded to second base, and Ryo Ota throws it over to Tongu to throw out Tyler Nevin. But Shuta Tonosaki is now all the way to third base, and there's only one out in the inning.
Gotta love the exit angle, the launch angle in the negatives.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you hit the ball on the ground, it's probably not going to be positive. Up comes Reo Murata. He grounded out to third, and then he had, I believe it was a line out earlier to second base. That one's just a little bit outside. Called ball one.
Gus Sani asking how you can watch the games of the Western Railway Cats. If you do a search on Google, you can find out, but it's not our place to say. Infield drawn in here.
Murata towering over everybody behind the plate. The catcher, the umpire, probably the guy on the hill.
Gravewalker, this is Nevin's first season in Japan. He signed up for 2 more after this one.
Slugged down the third base line. It is foul. So that one he definitely got on the barrel, but He did not get it very elevated, and it was a little too far ahead. The 1-2 pitch now. In the dirt, and Tonosaki is going to hold. I think we passed the Rubicon where Katayama with 45 pitches has now thrown more than the starter, or maybe I should call him opener of this game, Taito Takashima. Two and two now. Murata slugs it into center field. Running back for it and unable to come up with it is Hirooka. That is down. Murata takes a turn around first and storms into second with an RBI double as Tonosaki comes in to score. It is 6-0 in favor of the visiting Saitama Seibu Lions. That was a pretty near miss out in center field, I would say, but Murata getting most of that ball. Actually, pretty good snag by Hirooka on that backside.
On the short
there.
hop, yeah, I was going to say.
I mean, it's not an out, but just stuff like that ever ended up in top plays. That'd be pretty slick on the reflexes there. I imagine that the playing surface, is not truly grass, especially in a dome stadium, so those hops can be wicked. Jaden Davis on the ground to Kotaro Kurebayashi, and he throws it over to Yuma Tongu. Easy out, but now Reo Murata is at third base. Arguably has yet to earn this nickname, but a lot of early chatter about him possibly becoming the Japanese Aaron Judge. Obviously,
I
number.
thought Sugimoto was going to do that based on the number.
I thought.
And the home run pop.
I thought that Yuto Akihiro was going to be kind of a big guy, but he has not been doing so hot. Runner on third, 2 outs, and here's the human highlight reel. See if
Akihito did wind up being traded to the Hawks, so we can talk about him.
I know. That's why I was talking about him.
Hey, Gordo, good to see you. Ooh, I gotta ask about. We gotta talk about Snippety T's question in the inning break.
I think this inning break will be the recap, so we might not have, because it'll be between halves of the fifth.
So this now.
Genda has seen 2 balls in the dirt. Slings and hats right to his counterpart. Kurebayashi loads up a throw and will get Sosuke Genda at first to end the inning. The Lions do manage to add 1 more run, first time they scored since the third, but they leave a runner stranded at third base, and we're going to the bottom half of the fifth. Kurebayashi, Nakagawa, and Hirooka. Before we do that, though, I believe we're about to get the mid-game highlight reel. So for Grave, who was asking about how the score got here.
グラビティの彩香と
相馬がお伝えします。バファローズトレカはオリックスバファローズの選手カードをコレクションできる公式の電子トレカサービスなんです。今シーズンも様々な表情のトレカが続々と登場。選手の勇姿をスマホで集めることができます。
さらに試合連動機能では試合結果や選手の活躍に応じて報酬がもらえます。ビーズグラブ会員であればダウンロード不要、今すぐ始められます。スマホを片手に試合と一緒に楽しみましょう。詳しくは球団公式ホームページをご覧ください。
Check out the homepage for more information about the Buffalo's trading cards available. And they just hit differently the ones we get here. I am not knocking any collectors of baseball cards in that statement, by the way, but there's a lot more dynamic art involved in the Japanese ones you might have seen flashing across the screen there.
And you hear the Osaka Deep Red Bulls out in right field with their serenade, that one line, Kana Ubeki Yume no Sakie, to go beyond the wildest dreams. So, question from Snippety T. Which team in the Pacific League has the best kit?
Ooh,
That's a tough call.
that's a tough call. Are we talking full season or just the summer or like the whole shebang?
I'd go with, if we're saying whole shebang, Buffaloes, if we're going with regular uniforms, not going to lie, the Eagles' current uniforms kind of have my heart. They look
There's
closer to the ones
also
they
a-
wore in 2013.
Also, I love the fact that it's a very like distinct colorway. That maroon does not happen much in the Pacific League.
I was chatting with someone on Blue Sky earlier who was suggesting, why isn't claret and blue done in baseball? Like, I think he's thinking of like Arsenal or West
The wine
Ham and over
color.
in football. Yeah.
Oh, maybe.
I mean, the men in maroon is pretty distinctive on its own.
That is fair. Kurabayashi fouls that down the line, and it's all of a sudden 1-2.
Gordo's asking, standard uniform set for Japanese teams, one with white, one with color. Yeah,
That's
pretty much.
Rounded up the middle and into center field for a single. Kotaro Kurebayashi's first hit of this ball game.
I do enjoy that the Japanese teams tend to wear colors as their road uniform as opposed to gray. I think only the two Old Firm teams over in the other league have gray road uniforms. Everyone else, it's team color.
Would that be the newspaper people and the
Yeah, the newspaper
Western
tall
Railway
people
Cats.
and the Western Railway Cats, yes.
Okay. I'm close to figuring these out.
Because, I mean, the Lions are the Eastern Railway Cats.
That is very true. Strike to Keita Nakagawa, who first time up, he got a hit into left field, and then later stole a base. His the year to match his 8 home runs. Slugged down the third base line, but snagged there by J.D. Davis. I'm not saying that we're getting a ton of plays from this game, but that was a reason they call it the hot corner.
Blink
So,
and
hello,
you'll miss
future.
it. Welcome to Japan.
The nice camera work there to flag the ball. I was going to hedge and say future one of us may end up dealing with that play too.
Gordo's asking, is black red a normal color combination for the Buffaloes? No, it's really just for the summer uniform. Their usuals are
That's
navy
slugged
blue
up the
and
middle,
gold.
and Takizawa cannot corral that with a dive. Goes into center field, and Hasegawa gets it in quickly, but there are 2 easy singles here for the bottom of the Buffaloes batting order. I take that back. Technically, Hirooka's at the top. Another hit against Sumida. It only took him 3 at-bats this time.
Gravewalker asking, has there been any player from Hawaii to play in Japan? Yeah, one of the legends, Hall of Famer Wally Yonamine.
It's probably a Nisei. He's probably born in Hawaii, but 2 Japanese parents.
Yep, Nisei.
I know that.
Played in Japan, or played in NPB in the other league for a decade, won 4 rings, MVP, 8 All-Stars, and then wound up managing the newspaper Dragons for 5 years.
Ah. The newspaper Lizards. Here's Yumamune with 2 runners on and only 1 out in the bottom of the 5th. As Sumida's starting to show some cracks here. But that was a great pitch.
Mateo asking, have we commented or seen any countryside games? Believe it or not, the last broadcast we did, 2 broadcasts ago, was a countryside game.
Yeah.
In Kumamoto? No, it was
No,
Kagoshima.
they did it. They ended it in Kagoshima because they got rained out in Kumamoto. God,
Yeah.
not bitter. Sorry, I feel like I should give some context to that. I lived in Kumamoto for years, and so I was super excited to call the game there, but then it got rained out, and we did that one the day after in Kagoshima instead.
But I'd love to
Quickly
do
0-2
more. We
on
got to
the
get a Hotomoto Field Kobe game in at some point.
I mean, I would take any game. I would take being on the site, but I will take any game that they give us. I would love to do more. That's all I can say. 1-2 now, and you have to imagine that this is the situation the Buffaloes want. The revitalized Mune at the plate with 2 runners on, the Phenom on deck. That is foul down the first baseline.
Oh, Steven, do they serve beer? Oh, how about
beer
girls
gals are a
toting
thing.
draft kegs on their backs and they serve you at your seat?
Yeah, NPB games, like, the environment just hits different.
Heck, some teams even brew their own craft beer. The Eagles have like 6.
Fouls it off of himself. By the way, for those of you, if you're not aware of what a Maddox is, why don't you chime in on the chat, or somebody who does know can help fill in those who don't understand what a Maddox is. But for what it's worth, right now, Sumida is averaging just a little over, well, he's just about to hit 12 pitches per inning right now, which is going to probably take him out of Maddox range. The 1-2. And hit on the ground. That is just foul. Mune having a battle here with Sumida in his 3rd trip to the plate. The other thing, a major difference from NPB to MLB, if you're used to managers being like allergic to the 3rd time through the order, the expectation for most starters is that they have enough of an arsenal that they're going deep into games. The expectation is that your starter is going to give you like 6 every time, 7 every time, as opposed to, well, here's the 3rd trip to the batting order in the 5th inning. Well, we better pull our guy and put in a reliever. So it definitely feels different.
Yeah, and not every reliever has 95 and a slider.
There is that. 2-2 now on Mune. And that is right past the human highlight reel into left field. Another hit, 3rd consecutive hit for the Buffaloes. Of course, they go station to station, and that means the bases are loaded for only 2nd in the batting title race. The Phenom himself, Ryo Ota. I can sense Gabe is so excited for this upcoming plate appearance.
I'm just impressed Mune, in a lefty-on-lefty matchup, got a hit off the Sumida's forkball. Like I mentioned, that is the best forkball in the Pacific League, and Mune took it the other way. Very impressive.
Safe to say his reset on the farm early on in the season was very helpful. Bases are juiced.
Have you tried turning it off and on again?
Hirooka at 2nd, and Nakagawa, or is that Kurebayashi? Kurebayashi at 3rd.
Yeah, Nakagawa lined out to Davis, remember?
Yes, the snag that happened so fast I blinked and missed it. Well, it was the camera that missed it, but anyway. Bases are juiced, and Ota puts that deep into center field. Going back is Hasegawa, and off the wall is that? That is... Wow. Okay, can I retake that, please? That ball goes sailing out of here to center field. A grand slam for the Phenom. And the Buffaloes are back in this game. It is now 6-4.
I am just grinning from ear to ear, man. The Phenom showing this group, these 100-plus folks tuning in, exactly why I keep calling him the Phenom. Break out the Ryan Mustard, Granny!
I owe I owe all of you a slight apology for not thinking that was a home run and thinking it was like off the top of the wall. But that was
I don't know when I'm going to put this headset back on. Oh, just off the facing of the first deck.
It's a big blow, and Sumida finally shows some cracks, finally giving up some earned runs here. And the Lions still have a lead because of their early work. That 4 runs finally matches what the Seibu offense did in the first inning. Here comes Yuma Tongu to the plate. Bases are now empty after the Phenom home run. While I am doing this, Gabe, why don't we get a number on how many home runs that is this season for Ota?
That would be
like
Ota's 8th home run.
8. Okay.
Which, given the mushball era we're in, I think actually puts him in the top 10.
That's in the top 10 of the Pacific League. If we count all of NPB, that's probably like 12, 15.
Top
somewhere.
20, yeah.
Tongu fouls off that pitch as well, and he's down 0-2 now.
And Tongs here is on the cusp of double-digit home runs himself. So remember how I was saying that that Sumida is cruising towards his
10th
finally
win.
getting his double-digit home run?
As they show he's sitting on 9 wins again on the scoreboard there. We don't plan this, folks. It's Kismet. Tries for something in the dirt. That does not work, and it's 2-2.
Gordo, I know, right? The SL interlock. It's a nice change from the Heritage L they've been rocking for so long.
Yeah, it's almost like the team. It's almost like the team took the lessons of the Old English D from Detroit. Swung on and hit to the right side, but that will be picked up by Tyler Nevin, who takes it to the bag himself, unassisted 3 on the ground out, and we're now at 2 outs in the inning.
Stephen Leader asking, is Ota going to MLB? Hopefully not for a very long time.
He's only been in the league for, 4 or 5 years now?
Something like that. I just remember his was the first pitch home run in the 2022 clinching game. So.
Oh, in the Japan Series. Here comes the designated hitter, Masahiro Nishino, looks at a ball outside. It's worth noting that NPB doesn't allow people to test free agency without posting unless they've had, I think it's 7 years of
8
service
domestic
time.
free agent, 9 for international.
So even longer, short of being posted, as I said a little bit before.
Yeah, that's why Kodai Senga took so long to hit to
and
to Queens.
The Hawks don't post anybody. They just don't like doing that. So
it's not a matter of that they don't like it. It's a matter of they can afford not to. Let's not forget, Daisuke Matsuzaka's posting fee from, 2007, was triple the size of the entire Lions payroll.
70 pitches now for Chihiro Sumida with that latest one. 1-2 count. That's a looping curveball that is taken out to left field and foul.
He has been leaning on that curveball a lot this game. I wonder if he's intentionally shying away from overusing the forkball. Maddox they paid for the roof with that money.
Or maybe, perhaps, he's trying to conserve energy. That one's low in the dirt, 2-2. This has definitely been the turning point in the game. Not only have I switched roles with Gabe surreptitiously, so surreptitiously you didn't even notice, but the Buffaloes making a big thing out of this inning here. Slugged into the outfield, left center gap. Hasegawa tracks it down, and that will end the inning. But the big blow struck by the Phenom deep to center field, and Oryx is now back in this game. It is Lions 6, Buffaloes 4, as we go into the 6th inning.
Quick out-of-town scoreboard update. Still scoreless over at Mizuho Pepe Dome. That game's now in the 7th. Moinelo's thrown 103 pitches through 7 innings of work. Both teams only with 3 hits.
Yeah, Moinelo's been pretty good. No question about that.
Just wasn't expecting Shuta Takano and Yuji Nishino to go toe-to-toe with him.
And, of course, we can't give you an update on the other game because it hasn't even started for yet another 2 hours. We are 15 minutes away from me celebrating midnight and finally joining most of you on the 17th of August.
Now, if you're wondering what's going on, okay, so there's the fan that was the giveaway. If you're wondering what's up with the towels, this is a thing the Buffaloes are doing for the summer game season. They're calling it sauna goods or sento mode as opposed to challenge mode.
But Sento could be multiple things, not just bathhouse. So I love it.
So it's Japanese wordplay. That makes a lot more sense.
I mean, Gabe, anytime you think there's something, it's probably something. The Japanese love these. Sometimes it's
I thought our
Goro
jokes were
sometimes
terrible.
it's puns. Hey, it's pretty easy with the amount of homonyms that are so possible in this language. It's kind of ludicrous.
All right, guy up at the top left corner in the Yoshida jersey. I see you. Good on you for keeping with the old boys.
If you're interested, folks, the more usual color scheme for the Buffaloes is on the bottoms of these dancers right here. The navy and gold look.
Oh, that's so cute.
I love how the S is crumpled up so it almost looks like "Go Tani," which is hilarious.
I mean, you need a towel to mop up your sweat if you're in Japan
Right.
in August. I've been there. All right, here we go. Mid-game recap. So if you're wondering how things got to this kind of a score, bases loaded. That's Hiranuma at third, Takizawa at second, Nevin at first, and Taito Takashima, today's starter, yeets this one to the backstop, allowing the first run to score. And then JD Davis parks it in center field. He's hungry for more. Sosuke Genda launches this as a two-base hit, scoring Davis from first. Nicely done. Takashima would actually throw 2 wild pitches in consecutive at-bats in that inning. Buffaloes try to answer back. Yuma Mune lacing a double the other way. First of 2 hits so far today. But that runner would get stranded at third. Sosuke Genda, human highlight reel, as you well know. Chihiro Sumida off to a good start. We skip back to the third inning. New pitcher on the mound is Daiku Katayama. First and second. And Davis chops it back to the mound, but Katayama throws it wild and into center field. That'll allow Tonosaki to score. E1, my scoring decision. And top of the fifth, just earlier, Reion Murata puts a charge into this one. Taishi Hiraoka plays it on a short hop. Tonosaki scores for the second time today. And then with the bases loaded in the bottom half of the fifth, Ryo Ota, the phenom, launches his 8th home run just straight away center off the facing of the batter's eye. And that gives us our current score of 6-4 for the visiting Saitama Seibu Club.
Ota giving the fans a little bit of service with his cap doffed for the grand slam that puts them back into this game. Also, Koyomi Matic in the chat offered the proper response to the grand slam ball, which was "Ball, go far!"
Yes, as per Rob Tomlinson, Dishnet 34, WBSC Olympic eSport eBaseball commentator.
Takashima was the starter, if you want to call him opener. I don't know if that's too terribly wrong. 43 pitches, gave up the 5 hits, hit a batter, struck out 1, 4 runs allowed, 43 pitches, only 2 innings of work. And it's kind of right in line with what we'd seen for the previous times he'd been on the mound.
Yeah, this was a bit of an odd assignment for him. It's unfortunate that he wasn't able to replicate his previous success against the Lions.
Now we have, is that... Whoa,
Kaito
Saiki. Kaito Saiki. Hirota Saiki's the other league. My apologies. Also, I think the Saiki kanji might not be the same.
Yeah, that's that's a tree. Yeah. Yuto Koga 0 for 2 today. Both foul outs. One to first base, one to left field. Question from Gordo. Any Samurai Japan hopefuls here? I think Chihiro Sumida is probably on that list. Ryo Ota is making a case. Sosuke Genda, well, I mean, he's got to be there. He's the human highlight reel.
Also, possibly depth catcher Wakatsuki would not be a terrible pick.
That's true. Catcher used to be like a very strong position for the Japanese team, and now I feel like you got to go with like a defense first guy. At least until Kengo Horiyuchi finishes developing.
Some other names to consider, obviously, Kotaro Kurebayashi was on Samurai Japan for the last WBC. I think we got quite a few players in this game for the Buffaloes who were part of the Premier 12, as well as Chihiro Sumida.
Right, the Premier 12 silver medalist team that lost to Chinese Taipei.
That was definitely an upset, but, you know.
Yeah, no
that's
kidding.
That's why you play the games.
Saiki's a rarity in Japan that he's really a two-pitch guy. Fastball and forkball, so vertical movement, yes. Horizontal, not so much.
Here comes Hasegawa back to the plate.
Hasegawa, known for being a speedster, able to do the 50-meter run in 5.8 seconds. I haven't really seen much of his speed on the base pass so far tonight.
Well, no, because he requires being on base, but he did track down that fly ball into left center field earlier.
And he did get erased off first base in a Japanese toot plan.
Yes. Swing and a miss. There's a strikeout.
One of the few Lions having a bad day at the plate.
So Saiki gets his first hitter to strike out. And you know, momentum is as good as your next pitcher, I suppose. But it's safe to say that the momentum shifted to Oryx with that grand slam. Here's the tiny highlight. No, this is Hiranuma first, then the tiny highlight. He is 1 for 3, grounded out, and he lined out both to third base the previous 2 times to the plate. No, it was a strikeout. Excuse me. I saw the kanji and I went and reacted.
And Hiranuma is a bit of an odd duck. He won Koshien as a pitcher, that'd be the high school baseball tournament, converted to an infielder and then to an outfielder just in the last season or 2. So he really does can play anywhere. Teach him how to catch and let him do one position per inning.
The Austin Romine treatment.
Exactly. I was struggling for the guy's name.
Well, I suppose truly it's the Will Ferrell because he did that, which was a publicity stunt, but it worked. But yeah, I'm pretty sure it was Austin Romine. Or, well, Austin or Andrew. One of the Romine brothers did that in a game. There's a 2-1 pitch upstairs for ball 3. One of the fastest.
150 kilometers an hour. That's like that's about 93 miles per hour.
93, 94. That's one of the fastest balls we've seen in this game, for what it's worth.
93.2, yes.
And that is upstairs as well for ball 4. And Saiki undoes the strikeout with the walk to Hiranuma here. I'm kidding. He doesn't undo anything. There are still 2 outs in this inning.
Impressive. That's only the second walk issued by the Buffalo's pitchers so far.
I think there's only been like 3 in this game. one for Sumida, and before the big inning finished, and then
Nishino last inning, yeah.
Yeah.
So Saiki now has to pitch with a runner on.
That is low, and Saiki has thrown, 5 straight balls now?
I've lost count. Maybe he has
He
to.
threw at least 4, because there were the 3 getting to 2 and 3, and then 4 and 1, and now ball 1 of this game. Either way.
Army Chow Mein with a handy little rule there for calculating miles per hour.
Finally gets a strike. It is now evened up at 1 and 1. Checks back on the runner at first. You say
Hiroto Saiki
Kaito
participated. Kaito Saiki was a former member of the Osaka University of Economics college team, where he was coached by a former Oryx Buffalo infielder, Kazunao Yamamoto. So an interesting little bit of synchronicity there.
There's a runner going, and has the base swiped, apparently. Asagawa's speed on the base pass. We were just talking about it. We have now manifested. That's a stolen base off of Wakatsuki here.
And now a runner in scoring position with 2 down.
Well, I mean, it's 2 down, but yes, runner in scoring position means a hit should score him.
Also clever, leaving the foot on the base. Oh, looks like he had a belt blowout.
Broken belt. I love how this is like the quietest moment in the entire game right now.
Everyone stare at the guy fixing his pants.
There we go. As we cross over 2 hours on the stream, we have a wardrobe malfunction. Okay, I think it's honestly the first time I've seen a wardrobe malfunction in one of these.
The belt did its job, it served its purpose, and it has given its life to the cause.
And now Takizawa with the runner in scoring position. 1-2 count from Saiki. 2 outs. Wow, look at all that rosin dust he used.
Who does he think he is? Hiromi Ito?
The White Devil. I don't know if that actually hit him or just grazed him, but he was hopping away from that one.
Take another look at this. There's a forkball grip.
Ooh,
like it might have
side of his left.
tapped the top. Ooh, yeah. That's right about where I got tagged in softball a couple of weeks ago. I still have a little lump there. One, 2 on the way from Saiki. Runner at second, 1-2 count. Swing and a miss, strike 3.
But drop third, so Wakatsuki has to complete the out to first base. That will end the threat and the inning. So we go now to the bottom of the 6th. And the Buffaloes managed to put up a 0 on the scoreboard here, which is very helpful when they are now down only 2 runs. You have Sugimoto, Wakatsuki, and Kudebayashi coming up to the bat in the bottom half of this inning. Interesting with the parallels you've got going with the max 4-run inning. It's almost like the Lions had a grand slam. No, they totally didn't. But so far, it's been a really good game. Obviously, Seibu started out really hot, and then they've just been kind of cobbling things together as time goes on. These baby blue uniforms are very fun to look at, by the way. We never really figured out an answer for those like micro pinstripes that they're rocking, but I almost think they're just like for sheen purposes and basically nothing else. They're fashionable. They're summer. And Psyche, I think that's Psyche, if I had my guess, because they're spending a lot of time focusing on his hard efforts. And yeah, that sounds about right. The thing about baseball that is the most interesting is that you are stuck getting the person who comes up the plate. In most cases, you cannot, like, put up who you want. And so, normally speaking, you wouldn't want Takizawa, but you take your chances with who's up there, and that's all you can do. Oh my gosh, how did I not notice that? We've broadcasted a bunch of games of the Buffaloes. And for those of you who don't know about the nickname of Yutaro Sugimoto, Raoul comes from Hokuto no Ken, and I think I just heard a cover of the theme song from Hokuto no Ken as his walk-up. And that is quickly down the line, but is fouled off. Struck out twice in 2 trips to the plate thus far. It's been a pretty low-key night for the number 99 hitter here.
10 home runs, though, still leads the team.
That's not going to be a home run. Is that even... That's foul anyway. And quickly down 0-2. He has not figured out Sumida. By the way, Sumida back out for his 6th inning of work. Goes to what I was saying earlier. Dude just gave up a grand slam last inning, and they're still like, nah, we'll roll with him. He can do it.
Ganbaremasu.
That can-do attitude is so great.
The effort.
Pitch, and if Sugimoto hit on that, it would be easy, but he does not. The count goes to 1-2. So, fun things going on here as we get past midnight in my time zone. We are at 111 viewers right now. Thank all of you from wherever you may be tuning in for joining us on this midnight matinee. And that is the 3rd strikeout of Yutaro Sugimoto against Chihiro Sumida today. So back to Gabe's question of why did they have lefty DH? Well, Sugimoto's not doing great for himself anyway. It's almost like a reverse platoon problem.
He's allowed to have a rough day,
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, baseball is one of the very few games I can think of where you can fail 70% of the time, and if you do it over a career, you still might be considered for the Hall of Fame. And that is drifting in the dirt. Wakatsuki grounded out to short and then struck out his most recent time to the plate. Fouls it off. Back gets 1-1. Also, interesting thing here, you might have noticed that we've had a 2-man booth for a while. We might actually have somebody lurking in the background. Might I invite that person to speak up for themselves and let themselves be known?
Okay, you can't tease us like that.
I can't tease us like that. I cannot tease us like that. Well, it didn't work anyway. I didn't hear any response from the invitation I offered. So, I see. So, you guys don't get to see our chat back here behind the scenes. It's kind of funny, but yes, we do have somebody who did try to start talking, and apparently they have not been added to the stage yet, so you could not hear them, nor could I, but we'll get to hear from them in just a little bit. That little expected teaser for next inning, that is grounded through the hole on the left side into left field for a single. Wakatsuki takes a turn around first, 100 turns. He is now 1 for 3, his first hit of the game. It'll help keep the batting average closer to 400 against lefties, although it probably has gone down based on the last 2 at-bats.
Now, if memory serves, Kotaro Kurebayashi has gotten to double-digit home runs in the past, so he's got some pop for a shortstop. He was also a member of that WBC silver medalist team that
WBC
earlier.
Premier 12.
Premier 12.
I was going to say WBC wasn't silver. And that is a fielder's choice as Genda flips it over to his counterpart, the other Keystone Cop, Takizawa, for an out. But Kudebayashi is now at first base replacing Wakatsuki, essentially. And there are 2 outs in the inning.
Genda with a cheeky flip. You got to love it.
It looks suave. Don't know if it's a top play, but because he does that like daily, practically in his sleep. But it's a really, really good play. Here comes Keita Nakagawa, had a hit into left, and then lined out to J.D. Davis his last time up. The camera couldn't even catch up with him. That's how fast it went. That is plugged deep into left field. Going back on it is Hiranuma, and that is sailing out of here. And the Buffaloes have tied up this ball game 6-6 with a 2-run home run from Keita Nakagawa.
Nakagawa's 9th of the season, and oh no, Sumida's tagged with a no decision now. The curse of the second digit rears its ugly head again.
Hey, at least I got to actually call it with my home run call instead of like, oh, that was a home run. My bad.
Absolute mighty missile from Nakagawa. Not even the mush ball could keep that one in the park.
Yeah, you could see all the dents in that sign. That thing has been peppered with some very, very strong drives. And just like that, with the phenom and the young outfield stud, Keita Nakagawa, having their imprint on this game, we are all tied up at 6. Bases are empty, 2 outs in the bottom of the 6th inning.
I mean, not to put too fine a point on it, Matt, but we were talking earlier about the NPB unwillingness to let pitchers go 3rd time through the lineup.
Yep.
That we're in the 4th time through the lineup. Sumida's still under 100 pitches, but that's not.
To be fair, we just got to the 4th as of
this pitcher
here.
That's that bat, yeah.
But that TTO penalty that MLB analytics hate, yeah, you're beginning to see why MLB analytics hate. It's a pity for Sumida, who had been doing so well. He was cruising, and now he's run into a lot of trouble here. Hiraoka fouls that back. It's now 3-1. His most recent trip to the plate, he got a single into center field. Otherwise, he's only 1 for 3.
Outfield cheer section just going all the way into their hymn, the Sachukan, the unofficial team theme song.
Looks like it's going to be... That is Shuta Tonosaki in right field, by the way, making his first play of the game. And no, that is not a joke. It's his first play of the game. Outfield hits different sometimes. And with the big
if you wanted excitement,
Nakagawa, it is now all tied up, and we are at 6 apiece as we head into the 7th. Does that mean we're going to get the lucky 7s now?
That's right. And the visitors first. Oedo Daion Zu. Sing along if you know the words. So remember how I said that this Buffaloes team lives and dies by the long ball? How about that? Ota's 8th, Nakagawa's 9th. And just to reintroduce in this newly tied game as we head to the top of the 7th. Hello folks, Gabe Lerman, Matt Seivert, and now, at long last, Jimbo Bernicki in the Midnight Matinee.
I have returned to the land of the living. Seems like I missed some action here.
Oh, buddy.
You missed some action you would have wanted to see. You didn't miss the action you would have preferred to miss, I suppose, as a Lions fan.
just in time to be a bad luck charm for the Lions, but here we go.
We can blame you. Got it. Okay. New pitcher is Sho Iwasaki.
Very cool to see these alternate uniforms here between the Buffaloes and Lions. I'm sure you guys have talked about them, but I love both of these kits.
Yeah, we have been talking about it. And we have a defense replacement as well. Ryoma Yamanaka goes into the game in right field in place of Yutaro Sugimoto. Here comes Kunosaki to the plate. Looks at strike one. And as you can see here, he ended up getting a hit into left field, a double, and otherwise has been relatively unsuccessful in his trips to the plate today.
New pitcher into the game, Sho Iwasaki, longtime NPB player, age 35, joined the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks in 2008, stayed with them until 2021, so he's got his fair share of rings in his time. He wound up heading to the Dragons as compensation for Katsuki Matayoshi, and then wound up signed or traded to the Buffaloes earlier this year for cash.
And Nakayama just put into the game, and Tonosaki ends up flying out to him. The ball will find you. And just like that, there is one out in the inning. Here comes Tyler Nevin to the plate.
Yeah, it's been a relatively quiet game from Nevin. 1 for 3 with a hit by pitch. And once
now the
again,
ball's really finding him. Jeez. He's making more of a difference to this game than Sugimoto is already in 2 batters. Nevin also flying out to right field. F9 for those of you who want to keep score at home. This was earlier Reo Murata with a hard double into center, which scored Shuta Tonosaki. Hirooka nearly made a play on that, but that's been about the extent of Murata's contributions at the plate today. Swinged over the top of that breaking ball, or at least a breaking pitch, maybe not a slow breaking pitch.
Iwasaki's pitch mix includes a slider, forkball, slow curve, and changeup.
Well, it definitely wasn't the slow curve, because that's one of those looping, like 12-6, 12-foot drop. Based on the camera work on Sumida here, I'm assuming either they're talking about the absolute breakdown through third time of the order, or that he's probably done for the day. I don't know which. We'll figure it out when they get to the next inning. Swings and misses at that one. And very, very quickly down 1-2.
Even for as much as they like to trot pitchers out, it would be a bit weird to bring him here out in the 7th.
Yeah, I mean, he's already been full 3 times. They've totally got his number, and he's gotten them through 6 innings now. So, I don't see any reason for them to continue it. 2-2 after that ball in the dirt.
In terms of previous performance, Iwasaki, like I said, member of that dynastic Hawks team from the 2010s, got 40 holds for them in 2017 to lead the league as well.
Swung on and hit to the left side, and just over the leaping Kurebayashi into left field, and Murata on first base with a single.
He tall.
He's a big boy.
Very big boy.
Long boy.
It's almost like he belongs with the newspaper tall people.
No, that was Akihito, and now he's with the Hawks.
Well, Akihito is now with the Hawks, but Murata is about the same height, isn't he?
I'm going to have to double check. I think Akihito is a little bit taller.
That's okay. We can name it. JD Davis did get a hit and scored his first time up in that 4-run first inning for the Lions. Excuse me, we're talking about the Hawks, darn it. And now, since then, he's been hitless. But coming up here with 2 outs in the top of the 7th, right back to Iwasaki, and that is very easy. Third out of the inning. So now we go to the bottom half of the inning. Lucky sevens for the home team Buffaloes coming up. You have Yumamune, Hyota, and Yumatongu due to the plate. But after the lucky seven, if you know the lyrics, join in and sing it along.
Best theme in PL, Fight Me.
I will fight you. This is not the Hawks team.
And just like that, living and dying by the long ball, the Buffaloes are back fully into this game. First, Ota with a grand slam to center, and then recently Keita Nakagawa with the 2-run blast to left. Sumida is indeed out of this game. And, was a really good start. He is relieved by Trey Wingenter.
Sumida looks like an actor, and I can't put a pin on who it is.
John Cho?
Someone in the chat help me out. No, like it's an American actor.
1-4 record for Wingenter in 38 appearances this year. 26 holds on the season. I believe I saw his ERA was under 1, but I didn't have time to read the number before the graphic.
Yeah, Wingenter, Kaino, and Taira have been an amazing 1-2-3 punch out of the bullpen.
His first pitch is down in the dirt. Yumamune facing a new pitcher for the first time after getting 2 hits off the lefty, Chihiro Sumida, both to the opposite field.
Wingenter known for ramping it up to 100 miles per hour on the fastball. Former Padre, Tiger, Red Sox, and Cub.
Plugged into right, and Tonosaki runs it down for the first out of the inning. Loud contact, and the result's in and out. The Tonosaki to right field thing is relatively news to me. Like, I saw that in the starting lineup for today, and I literally did a double take. I'm like, wait, why is he in the outfield? Don't know if our Lions fan on the podcast can explain that for us, Jimbo.
Well, he's done it before. In fact, at one point, I think he was injured to the point where he couldn't play second base as well, and they moved him into right field just to keep his bat in the lineup. I think that was like 2019, 2020, and he responded with double-digit home runs.
I think it's probably the honest answer is JD Davis. Is that fair?
Possibly.
This just last at bat for Yoel to off the facing right above the batter's eye as he gets a grand slam that was probably one of the least excited grand slam calls you'll ever get from me because it deked me out.
Yeah, TK Com saying Manai Nishikawa's injured. That also doesn't help matters.
Sure.
I mean, Tonosaki also has 2 golden gloves, both of them at second base.
Ooh, Army Chow Mein says Sumida reminds them of an Asian Patrick Warburton. Definitely not what I'm thinking, but
That's not
everything.
Ota grounds it over to Davis, speaking of which, and Davis makes a quick throw to Nevin, and just in time, says the umpire, for out number 2.
Oda turned on the Jets there. He nearly beat that out for an infield single.
I honestly wouldn't be amazed if Kishido would go for a request here, because I'm not so sure I believe the call. It was bang, bang either way. That much I can say.
Ooh, just in time. On the dot.
Yeah, centimeters. Okay, fine, inches. Freedom units. But anyway, yeah, it is the correct call. And that camera angle with the slow down footage helps great deal. Ota is retired. And now there are 2 outs in the inning, and here comes Kongu with that.
So you know how earlier I was mentioning how too many teams in MLB have 95 and a slider guy?
Yes.
That's Wingenter.
I was about to say.
95, and he's got the slider.
Well, I mean, he
He's
wasn't
also
in MLB.
6'7".
Yeah, I was going to ask about the height because it looks like he's taller than Reo Murata, but it's probably about the same.
Wingenter's got about 6 centimeters on him.
6 centimeters. What's that in the game of baseball? All right. Tongu looks at a ball outside. 1-1 count.
Of course, like, I wish I could throw 95 in a slider.
Don't we all? I mean, that's really,
if it would mean I could still play baseball.
it's the human condition, right?
Ow, my ligaments.
That is true, though. Low, that's ball 2. Wingender, I guess effectively Wild might be part of his game because MLB trained. Don't know if he's really evolved too much away from that now that he's been playing in Japan. And we are at a 3-1 count. Is Tongu like captain of this team? Because I see the C, but I don't think I've seen it on any other jerseys.
That is correct. Tongu
Okay.
took over the captaincy, I think it was last season.
Speaking of Buffalo's players we have not seen in this game, but WBC likelies, Tomoya Mori. You probably want to fit his bat up somewhere.
Nice break ball in there for a strike.
And the count is now full. Already the hardest at bat the Wingunders had to get through thus far in the inning. Swing and a miss, strike 3. There goes Tongu down on strikes, and there goes the bottom half of the 7th inning.
He set him up there with the breaking ball last pitch, and after that one, just straight gas right through the right down the middle of the plate.
When we get to the top of the 8th, it'll be Genda Koga Hasegawa for the Lions.
I really like these Lions uniforms, but especially the hat. I love this logo.
Yeah, the interlocking logo is really. We had a
Very
couple
nice.
of commenters on that in the chat earlier as well.
Quick check-in on the out-of-town scoreboard. It is walk-off time in Fukuoka. The Hawks have successfully put up 9 zeros against the Marines. Small problem. The Marines have put 8 zeros up against the Hawks. Naoya Masuda into the game in a non-save situation to try and keep that one scoreless into extras.
I do find it interesting the Marines pitching is perked up a little bit. I mean, Atsuki Taneichi is qualified for the ERA title right now. Went 8 innings in his previous start. Like, this is the Taneichi we were expecting all year. Good to see him kind of rounding into form, but I think it's too little too late for his accolades this year.
Well, yeah, just checked in on that scoreboard. Moinello with 10 strikeouts through 7 innings. Very Moinello.
New pitcher into the game for the Buffaloes. It's Luis Perdomo. Former Padre, Brewer, and Chibalote Marine. 2-seamer, sinker, slider, and changeup. He does have an issue with missing the zone low, but otherwise he's been an incredibly effective arm for the Buffaloes. He's in here in a non-save situation, trying to keep it drawn at 8s. 6s.
Ah! You were so close, Gabe. So close. "37 appearances. This will be number 38. He's 2-3 record, 27 holds, and an ERA just a little north of 2. Genda looks at a looping curveball down there for strike 1.
What's wild about Genda is that he at one point did have speed as part of his toolkit. He was a stolen base leader in 2021. And then he just sort of said, nah, I'm good. I'd rather just be the defense first guy.
And power was not a part of his game. You see, he has no home runs on the season.
Yeah, never had much power in the bat, but zippy guy on the field, on the base.
I mean, you'd have to imagine if an outfielder misplayed it in a dome like this, you could get an inside the park version.
One other tidbit I found about Genda, he participated in a Guinness World Record attempt with Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks infielder Masaki Mimori, making 53 back-and-forth catches in 1 minute.
I believe that former Hawk Masaki Mimori,
Yes.
I think he's in the other league now.
Yes, that's correct.
And the count is quickly full here. Genda fouling off enough pitches and looking at Perdomo missing low.
So, Gordo, I was thinking the same thing early. Like, it almost looks like a mini pinstripe or like micro pinstripes.
Lifted into left field where it is caught by Nakagawa and retired for the first out of the inning.
I've heard you guys say that about those pinstripes, and I'm trying to see them.
Yeah, you have to look really close at the Lions top to get it. It almost looks like a sheen thing as opposed to actual stripes. But the baby blue makes it really hard anyway because it's so light natively, and the pinstripes aren't contrasted enough.
Real talk, I want these uniforms to be the Lions' new roadies.
I want both these
Ditch the
uniforms.
gradient,
to be
make these the road uniforms
consistent
full-time.
uniform for both.
But it's a summer sale. Do we really expect they're going to crack the rotation much? Koga looks at a ball outside.
I mean, the current Oryx road uniform was a summer uniform and then got promoted. It does happen.
That one is low. Called a strike. It is 1-1. I think that may have been a gift from the umpire. Fouled off to the left side. It is 1-2.
Hey, we got someone new in the chat. Welcome to the stream, Harrison. Yep, Oryx Buffaloes are the home team. Wearing black and red for their summer uniforms. Kotaro Kurebashi with a spinorama. Oh my!
That was a solid play.
Slick.
Do we risk a fourth iteration of possible hello future one of us?
We should just have that recorded with all of us saying it, or hello Jimbo.
Future. Are we really ripping off the show that I probably shouldn't talk about for fear of, but it involved a couple of, I guess they're mice?
We don't know what the Warner Brothers look.
Yeah, we don't know what they're
species
actually
are.
supposed to be. That's the thing. Asagawa had a hit in the first inning, had a two-plan there because he got thrown out trying to steal second in the pickoff move. Did get a stolen base after reaching last time, but at this point he's been relatively quiet. 1-1 on him thus far.
Perdomo was an excellent pickup by the Buffaloes, I have to say. It's a bit surprising that the Marines didn't decide to extend him, given that I don't think they have too many foreign arms at the moment.
Voth and Salmons.
Right. Both in the rotation.
Yeah. And that was a great breaking pitch for strike number 2.
Perdomo's got that pitch clock speed going on. Like he's just mowing through getting
He is.
against these
He's
batters.
working quickly. And strike 3 looking. Gives him the looper. Asagawa strikes out. I think that's his second strikeout of the day.
That is.
And Perdomo manages to keep them off the board, putting up a critical 0. We head to the bottom of the 8th. Nishino, Yamanaka in place of Imoto, and Wakami.
Corey says he's looking like Mark Burley right now. Shout out Mark Burley, one of our favorite players on the pod. We talk about that a lot.
Shout out speedrunners in baseball. Oh, J-Dog, I love that quote. I also enjoy the response. Can I help you? No. No one can help me now.
Just looking. Coming down to the bottom of the 8th here, let's see if the home team can complete the comeback or can the Lions claw back here and seal it off.
Not to podcast jinx it, but remember the last 2 times the Buffaloes have been the home team here in the Midnight Matinee, they've walked it off in extras.
Part of me is hoping for extras because more baseball is always more baseball. Part of me is hoping that it's just a regular 9-inning game. And the Buffaloes have 2 more chances to make that a thing.
That's right. More baseball is always more baseball.
Yes. Always, more
Factually correct
always
statement. Good. Factually correct. I can't argue with the logic.
More baseball happening is always a good thing.
Yeah, look, you
circular
can't
reasoning
deny
works because circular reasoning works.
If there's more baseball is happening.
That sounds like something out of a YouTube poop. More baseball means more baseball.
More baseball means more baseball means more baseball. New pitcher
Sunday.
Yamada. What's his actual?
Haruto Yamada joined
Haruto.
the Lions in 2023. Actually known as something of a hitter in high school. 31 home runs in his high school career.
A sub
Curveball, slider.
Man.
Curveball, slider, 2-seamer, and fork. Other Gabe mentioning, sounds like something Macho Man would say, more baseball is more baseball, yeah.
Again with the Macho Man Randy Savage reference that I still don't get any more than the last time I made one. There was a point of contention last time it came up. I remember that. Yamada deals, and that is called strike 1. I think that was a gift from the umpire, to be fair.
No, that looked like a clean drop right through.
Nishino is, I believe, 1 for 3. I think I saw that. He got a hit in the the second inning. But
1 for 2 with a walk.
Had he called that a strike, that would have been a gift.
And it's no 1-1. Let it not be said we don't have fun here. I think just for the lulz, I think it'd be fascinating if we ever had a game that we called that wasn't starting at midnight on the East Coast to see how much more coherent and logical it would be.
We've tried. We had 1 a.m. starts because Chiba, for some reason, the Lotte Marines are allergic to starting a game at 1 p.m. Japan time.
No, I'm saying like earlier in our time zone. I know it's not possible, but it'd be interesting as a contrast. That's grounded right to Genda, who throws it over to Nevin for the out. 6-3 on the grounder, and 1 out in the bud.
Oh, you're saying like actual normal time here,
specifically after dark, and see how much more coherent it would be. Like, yeah, I remember the 1 a.m. start being less so.
Well, we've had 5 a.m. games, and I think our last game of the season is going to be one of those.
Yeah, baseball for
That is
breakfast
correct.
on September 27th. Check out the game between the Marines and Fighters. I will not be there. I will probably.
We actually, I feel like we were weirdly a little more coherent because with those, because we're human, we were waking up to do those games. Unlike these ones where we stay up for those.
Nah. Yamanaka's first at bat. He's only had 45 at bats on the season. Not done much in them. He came in as a defensive replacement for Yutaro Sugimoto after Sugimoto went over 3 with 3 strikeouts.
I've mentioned it before. There has to be a way to get a Pacific League game played in America. Lee Dom finally got some postseason games in Queens. Can we get something here in like March or something?
And can we be the commentators from the booth on that? That'd be
Oh
good.
my goodness.
That'd be nice.
Dream gig.
Dream gig indeed. But hey, we already have a leg up given what we're doing. So from Pacific League side of things, anyway. Probably not. If you're putting a spectacle game in America, I don't think we'd be high enough on the list to make that.
I disagree.
You disagree. Swings over the top of that, and there's a strikeout for Yamanaka.
4 straight strikeouts from the right fielders for the Buffaloes. 3 from Sugimoto, 1 from Yamanaka.
And quickly, 2 down. Yamada is proving why he has a sub-1 ERA and keeping this game knotted at 6. Up comes Kenya Wakatsuki now.
Oh, Gordo said there was a look at the stripes. I just happened to look away for a moment and I missed them.
This is getting into Pokeroo territory, man.
What? I don't get that reference.
Yeah, I have no idea what that means.
Okay, that's one for CO in the chat only. The TV Ontario guys.
Okay.
Yeah, J-Dog, the KBO early in the morning. I know we don't usually talk about the other foreign leagues, but KBO has done some amazing work in becoming more accessible to North American fans. Ditto for the Taiwanese League, the CPBL, and us. You know, this is
we're here.
Part of that effort.
I was about to say, we're at the front lines of that.
CO, bless you for staying up as late as me.
Hey, at least we only have to do the staying up thing once a month. That's the one really good thing about the frequency of these broadcasts.
Ooh.
Nearly hit him. 3-1. I can't imagine what kind of chops it would take to play trumpet for lead trumpet on all of these cheer songs the entire length of the game. Like, my goodness. Swing and a miss. Fuck count is now full.
Either they rotate, or you'll notice it's 2 different teams of trumpeters, one for the top half, one for the bottom half.
Well, I know it is 2 different because each Oendan has their own. Yeah, you see the stripes, Jimbo?
Oh, there we go. Okay, yeah.
I'm just
didn't look away.
I'm just imagining they have to ice their lips after the game.
And that is grounded, caught by the Natsuo Takizawa, who throws it to Nevin and cleans up the final out of the inning. Not necessarily the best play from Takizawa we've ever seen, but a good play.
The only rule is it has to work.
Because this would be a hello. No, I'm kidding. All right, we go to the top of the 9th. It's the top of the Lions' order. At least I think I read that correctly.
Yep, Hiranuma, Takizawa, Tonosaki. Are we going to see Machado in a non-safe situation, considering...
Well, I guess we are, and I'm assuming that's why we're hearing this song.
It's interesting. If you see there, he was playing that very deep. He was already almost like ready for that hit there.
Yep, Andres Machado entering the game. I was reading on Japanese Wikipedia. Machado has above average velocity on both his slider and his changeup and can ramp it up to 100 miles an hour on the fastball. He's taken over the closer job quite capably from Yoshihisa Hirano, who, after getting his 250th save, has been banished to the Shadow Realm.
Yeah, right. Wait, we sure we want Konami on our butts?
Right.
But for what it's worth, we talk about foreign pitchers. I mean, Perdomo and Machado have been instrumental in closing down the ends of games for the Buffaloes.
Yeah, the Buffs still aren't having the best luck with their foreign batters, but foreign pitchers? Oh, heck yes.
Well, I mean, it's telling that Cedeno was good last year, but is decidedly not this year for the opposing team. Is he even on the top club at this point, or is he down on the farm? I have no idea.
I think I saw him on the bench for today's game.
Gotcha.
20 saves on the season for Andres Machado.
Second
Only
only
guy-
to Mr. Zero in the opposite bullpen. Well, of Pacific League, I should say.
Actually, I'm not sure about the other league.
The other league, you've got the tall people.
Rydell, right? Never
You've
mind.
got the tall people, and you've got the lizards that both have way more. Even the Western Railway cats are pretty close on time on Tyra's 23. That was popped up to second base. Rio Ota puts it away, and there's one out here in the top of the ninth.
That looked like a good hit from coming off the bat, and then it just fluttered. It didn't go
Yeah,
anywhere.
no, it didn't have nearly enough juice. Here comes the tiny highlight reel. He is 1 for 4 today. His hit was in the first and ended up, I believe he ended up scoring that inning too.
The Hawks just walked off. Amazing.
Taisei Makihara with a walk-off winner on an 0-2 count.
Beautiful. Sayonara to that game. Let's see what happens in this one. Takizawa did try to lay down a bunt the first pitch. It did not go very well.
Besides, we know Andres Machado can field bunts really well.
He does not offer it that, and apparently that is a ball.
That was awfully close.
You'll notice I said apparently.
One thing I wish the majors would pick up from NPB is using the X
Ooh,
on
broken bat first to the broadcast, but grounds out to his counterpart as Ota throws out Takizawa. Machado had to artfully dodge the barrel of that and miss the ball. That was a pretty good job there.
He's agile. I mean, he topped one of our top 10 highlight reels because he dove for a bunt. He doesn't look it, but...
Well, I mean, being athletic enough to be on a top league professional team in baseball is nothing to sneeze at, even if you happen to have dad bod, which makes me happy.
I mean, he's no, like, big potato Joel Zumaya, but...
Or big sexy Bartolo Colon.
Shout out CC Sabathia.
Shout out to CC Sabathia, who actually...
Hall of Famer CC Sabathia.
Yes, freshly inducted Hall of Famer CC Sabathia. But for what it's worth, he also did end up losing a lot of weight. After
Yeah, he lost like 100 pounds the moment he stopped playing. It was crazy.
That's grooved down the middle for a strike at 0-1. That was nearly 160 kilometers per hour, so we're talking like 98, 99 on that fastball. That was a challenge pitch, and Tonosaki was not up to the challenge. Swung on and fouled off to the seats.
Now, Monday is a day off, like usual, in NPB. Do you give Machado extra innings if this goes to extras? He's only thrown 6 so far.
I suppose it depends how quickly he gets Tonosaki out, or, you know, if he needs to face other batters. Well, how quickly he gets Tonosaki out was the very next pitch, and strikes out Tonosaki to end the top of the ninth. We go into the bottom half of the inning. Kotaro Kurebayashi, Keita Nakagawa, Taishi Hirooka coming up for your home team Buffaloes with a chance to try and repeat history and see if they can win this game in the final half inning.
Vámonos Machado.
Love the Venezuela flags going there. That's cool.
Man, look at all the condensation on that water bottle.
That water
This
looks
is,
so good.
Oh yeah, water's got to hit different in a closed dome on a hot August day in Japan. There's a reason the vending machines are every 200 meters. You need it.
I was also going to make the comment about the electricity gag, but I think I've said that every broadcast I've been on, so I'll spare you. Same exact number of hits and runs for these two teams. One error on the Buffaloes. That was the E1 that turned a double play into an RBI in the, I think that was the third inning.
Third inning, yep.
Does Sumida remind me of John Cusack? Is that what I'm doing? Is that
I
what
can
my
kind
brain
of
was
see
doing?
that.
I
Yeah,
know
you know?
we were doing something. I'm just not sure what it was.
Ironic, weirdly enough, it was looking at Sugimoto that made me think of that. I'm like, is that what I'm connecting there?
This is, hey, if this is the only way you ever experience us, Hiroshi Kaino stepping to the hill now. If this is the only way you ever experience us with the Pacific League After Dark stuff, I highly encourage you subscribe to this YouTube channel and check out our podcasts where we are definitely not as tired. It's a grand time.
More lucid,
not
less
as
tired,
tired,
still
and somehow
joke,
more
bad jokes.
unhinged.
I mean, we still are the same people. It's just we're more aware people. Our brains are still operational at those points in the day,
Better caffeinated.
if required. Gabe, do we have any information on the pitch mix for Hiroshi Kaino?
Yep. 160 kilometers an hour fastball and 140 kilometers per hour forkball. He's usually the setup man along with Wingenter, but Yamada's picked up some setup work. We'll see if Kaima Taira even enters the game.
I mean,
he was acquired from the Hawks as compensation for signing Hotaka Yamakawa.
It's a non-save situation. I think they don't want Kaima to come in and blow the save. So
Is this Murebayashi?
this is
Kurebayashi.
Kurebayashi.
God.
The ongoing joke of Jimbo can't remember.
There is no hope for you on this, Jimbo.
I genuinely thought I had it this time. I was like,
I'm just gonna stop trying to help and see how many guesses it takes before you actually get one right. Anyway. And there's apparently not strike two. That's 2-1 count on Kurebayashi.
yeah, just watch the replay on that. That's all right. I don't
Right?
No umpire auditors in Japan, though.
Yeah, they're not going to get a request on a single ball strike. Well, that's lifted into center field, and it is caught by a diving Hasegawa.
That is a
dive
key
forward
play
on that
there.
low
Key
liner,
play
and
there
I
for the Lions.
definitely think that's fair to say hello future, because like this game situation, that play, that's huge.
I just put that with 2 exclamation points in my scorecard.
Literally robs it right off the turf. Kurebayashi thought he had a hit there for sure. Hasegawa said otherwise.
Sportsfan 2000 asking, how did the Lions even get in this predicament? Dingers. 2 of them.
Yeah. Right.
My name's Big Al, and I hit dingers.
Speaking of which, here's Keita Nakagawa, the slugger of one of
The
those.
second dinger, yeah. Here's the replay right there if you want to see it. Off of Kihiro Sumida in the, I believe that was the 6th inning. Tie up the game at 6 apiece. That's hit deep into center field. Hasegawa racing back for it and has room to make the catch just ahead of the warning track. And does this mean?
I can't be the only one there who thought that was the walk-off. I was like, oh my God.
No, I didn't think it was going to be, but I was trying to play it up. You know, it's an awkward line to straddle of like, you have to try and make it exciting enough until, oh, okay, that's an out.
yeah. You don't want to go too hard in on a pop.
Or go not hard enough like you did on the Ota Grand Slam earlier. You can't win. Second out of the inning.
I mean, ideally, we end up going to Japan and calling these games from there, because then we could see the arc of the baseball and we're not stuck with the broadcast angle.
I mean, I'm not going to say anything to try to get us in trouble here, but darn, you have no idea how badly I would love to do that. All right. Taishi Hidooka taking his cuts now. He represents the last hope to get this thing over in the 9th. Swings and hits a grounder, fielded by Takizawa, and we are going to extras, boys.
Once more unto the breach, dear friends.
And Kaino manages to stop them in the 9th inning, which means we are going to see top of the 10th with Nevin, Murata, and Davis. Now, that's a really imposing 3 if they can, like, get into a ball. But who do you think they're going to be facing? Because it could be Machado.
If I was Kishida, I'd be sending Machado out for the 10th.
I mean, it was a really short inning, so it's not like he's completely cold now, right? So I think it's got to be Machado here, but we'll see what happens.
Question from Steven, is there a ghost runner? No, there's no Manfred man here.
There's also no pitch clock here either, so
we get 3 extra innings, and then the game is called a tie.
If it's still tied. Perdomo giving the camera some love.
Little heart there too. Everyone gets some camera time.
Well, especially when you go to extras, you got to try and do something. Yay! A shout out to the grounds crew. You can see a scoreboard update for other games in the league. All of the league. I'll say no more. We've not seen the last Pacific League game start with the Rockton and Golden Eagles hosting Newfoundland Fighters. That does not start until 5 p.m., which is still an hour away. So hopefully we're well in bed by then, but we'll see what happens.
I mean, at least the grounds crew doesn't have that much work. You got the sliding pits, and that's about it.
Yeah, and I noticed that the grounds crew is decidedly smaller than Major League Ballpark. I was razzing on the Rockies earlier, but darn if Coors Field is not a great place to take in a ball game, and it's always cool to watch them go.
And now I vacuum the turf at Skydome. Once he was the king of Spain.
There's a reference that's wonderful, but I'm missing it. We're rapidly approaching the 3-hour mark in our broadcast, and as you can tell, all of us over here are getting a little loopy. Me more loopy by the minute.
Given that the first inning took like half an hour to finish, we've been making good pace afterwards.
That's fair. I mean, hey, Chihiro Sumida was on pace for a Maddox for a while, so.
And then Ota.
And then suddenly wasn't. Jimbo, how you hanging up over there?
I'm good.
Good. It's always nice to get a little extra baseball with one of your teams that you're following, right?
Yes, sir. Jeopardy doodles.
As I said earlier, more baseball is more baseball.
More baseball is more baseball.
I want that on a T-shirt now.
Yes, seriously. That should be our sign off on the podcast. We're like, comment, subscribe, and remember. More baseball is more baseball.
Oh, don't you love it when your mistakes are immortalized forever in the day and
absolutely
in the memes?
That's what you live for.
Bad decisions make the best stories, guys. Taisuke Yamaoka, the death ball grip, gonna make his attempt at trying to make this go. Obviously, former starter with the Buffaloes back when they were about to win the pennant, had a bit of a off-field issue. I'll leave it at that. And since his return, he's been kind of in this one-inning role. 28 appearances so far, 3-1 record, 10 holds on the year. His ERA does not look pretty, but you can't imagine that he is not going to be effective in a small sample when he can, like, really let back and let him rip, you know? I'm imagining that Gabe has a bit of information about pitch mix for him.
Look for the slider to be his primary off-speed. He throws that about 33% of the time. Cutter, change, curve, and split round out the pitch mix. His four-seamer will top out at 152 and usually sits 144, so high 80s, low 90s after that injury that cost him so much time in 2021. He had to have elbow cleaning surgery. Not full Tommy John or Neil reattach, but just, maintenance.
Dr. Reattach. Love it.
Yeah, Dr. Neil reattach, yes. And he's still got some fans among the Buffalo's faithful.
Also, that particular jersey, the black with the gold pinstripes, is a really classy look too. I do like that design.
See, the Buffaloes have been using this like font and the pinstripes for 4 years now, and they still haven't promoted it up into their primary uniform look. I'm begging them to do it. Ditto for the interlocking OB logo that they have on their regular Sunday jerseys.
I do wonder if they're like searching for the right color kind of a thing. Tyler Nevin has been on base twice. He walked and he got a hit his second time up. But otherwise, he's been relatively quiet since flew out to right his last time up. And the count is evened at 1-1. As we enter our third hour of the broadcast today, we want to take a chance to thank all of you for joining us from wherever you may be, and hopefully at reasonable times of day. But that is hit well but fouled off.
You're not going to believe this. We've actually gained viewers. We're up at 126.
Woo! I swear it has little to do with me and more about the fact that this game keeps going. That was going to be a home run if he was like a little bit later on time. He ended up pulling too much.
Gordo, yes, it's Phil Nevin's son. Jenna, yes, it ends in a tie if we're still knotted after 3 extra innings.
Right. Great. Drops that slider in there. Like
Big
it easy.
looping breaking ball there.
And Nevin will sit down. His chance negated for the time being.
Third looking strikeout that the Lions have had. They've been caught on a couple of these. I mean, they are pretty pitches, let's be real.
Yeah, that helps. Here is possibly the Japanese Aaron Judge, Rayon Murata. I tell you, he'd really bolster that comparison if he came up with a clutch homer right now. That's all I'm saying. And he does have 2 hits in his last 2 appearances, a double and most recently a single.
Chris Gutierrez is the top of the 10th, and Alicio, good morgen.
Good morning.
Guten Morgen.
He's got some baseball from breakfast in Germany.
Not that we're doing that broadcast, but we are doing a baseball for breakfast for our next broadcast, which will be the last broadcast of the season, September 27th, Saturday, 5 a.m. Eastern start time. Game between the Marines and the Fighters. Join us if you're the early bird type.
Or the late bird type.
Or you still haven't gone to bed and you're hanging around for like 2 innings, then I won't lie, it could be me, but otherwise there's no way I'm participating.
But I always love those baseball for breakfast broadcasts because we bring in the European viewers because that's closer to their afternoon.
That does make
You love them because you're not the one who calls them.
Hey, I got this next one coming up.
I was about to
dude.
say I'm about to say Gabe's on the next one, so you get to burn the candle at both ends for PLTV. And slugged down the right field line, well foul.
I shall try to be worthy of my post.
I saw earlier in the chat people were talking about going to PNC Park with the Pirates, and I know Matt, you mentioned being at Coors Field. Everyone in the chat, shout out which major league parks or even minor league. Why not? Which parks have you been to, and what's your favorite one? Only one I've been to is the Olympic Stadium with former home of the Expos, and it sucks.
Yeah, I was going to say that's a. You should come out to Coors Field. It's a great place. I'd
love to. Absolutely.
I did a tour of Olympic Stadium in Montreal. That is 6 inches of turf on top of concrete. No wonder everyone's knees exploded.
Well,
Yeah,
something about the park in Toronto not necessarily great for that either. Wasn't you saying a concrete dungeon?
It may be a concrete torture cell, but it's our concrete torture cell.
Tongu gives that a look, but obviously not in play. And Murata trying to extend this at-bat here.
Corey's been to Wrigley a million times. That's nice.
I mean, I definitely bucket list. Wrigley is definitely bucket list. Fenway too. But honestly, bucket list after being on...
What a heinous swing and a miss.
Drop third strike, but easy out as Wakatsuki throws it over to Tongu. There are 2 outs in the inning. I was going to say, honestly, Bucket List, after, commentating with Gabe and getting to know you guys, I want to do all of these Pacific League parks, especially Escon. Holy crap.
Well, yeah, of course. Yeah. 100%.
Maybe also NPB, like all of NPB, but that's not important for what we're talking about. We don't get to talk about the other league much, except for the times when interleague is happening, and that's when I got to make my claim for who the CL MVP is very likely to be. You can go back and check out all of our podcasts on this YouTube channel, by the way, so you can probably find that episode. JD Davis is 1 for 4 in his appearances to the plate thus far. He represents the last chance to do something in the top of the 10th.
Mizzy is asking if we are in the States. Believe it or not, 2 of us are in Canada.
Actually, the 2 of you are in Canada. We do have one other, Mike Bealey. He's not joined us tonight. He's having microphone issues, but he also does live in the U.S. So 2 and 2 for us, not the count. The count is 1 and 1. That is lifted into right field and snagged out of midair by the Phenom himself. Great diving play to his left for Ryo Ota. Finishes off the top of the 10th inning.
I want to see a better replay angle of that. That was crazy.
Also, once again, because I like hedging these things, hello, future.
Maybe.
Game state being considered, we've got a lot of really clutch defensive plays, but I don't know if they're necessarily more than like garden variety stuff. Oh, the camera couldn't catch up. Here's what should be good to you.
Ooh.
Oh, no, the umpire's in the way.
Blue, what are you
That's good.
doing?
Blue, get out the way. That's a heck of a snag, though, no question. Left his feet, dove to his left. The Phenom's been doing it all. He hit the grand slam to put Oryx on the board. He manages to seal the 10th inning with that diving catch. There's no wonder, well, at least there shouldn't be any wonder for any of you anymore why Gabe keeps going on about the Phenom arriving this year.
Yep. Quick out-of-town scoreboard update, and this is a important one if Kaima Taira shows up. Tigers reliever Daichi Ishii just set the new NPB record with 40 straight appearances without allowing a run.
Allowing an earned run or allowing a run? Here is kind
a
of
run, full stop.
Okay.
For those of you new checking in, Kyocera is one of the best closers in the Pacific League. Probably I would say the best.
The best.
He leads the league in saves. That much is a factual statement. 24 of those, a 1.17 ERA, 4 holds to go with it because sometimes it's not the end of the game. 3-1 win-loss record in his 39 appearances to date. This will mark the 40th of this season.
Juan Uresti, yes, if the Buffaloes score, the game is over. It's not 3 innings regardless. If there's no score by the time we get to 3 more innings, the game is called a draw.
Well, and for what it's worth, we have to remember that it still plays the same rules. So if the Lions score, the Buffaloes have a chance to respond. If they only tie it, we still would get another inning unless it's the 12th. If they eclipse the score, then it's over. Walk off.
Gabe in the chat saying that who would look good next to Oda next season would be Teraki Sato of the Tigers. That would be crazy. That would if that happened. I would pick the Buffaloes to win the PL next year.
Kaima Taira pitched in a no-hitter earlier this season. He comboed up with Tatsuya Imai. Imai went 8 innings. Taira closed it out. 2020 Pacific League Rookie of the Year.
Taira was also last season? He was in the rotation for a loaded Tigers staff. He has been back to the bullpen, which allows him to be, concentrated short bursts. And he is so cerebral about the art of pitching and how it affects your body, that he's well aware of the advantage that brings. Working fast. Mune up the middle. Takizawa dives but cannot corral it. And that'll be a single to lead off the bottom of the 10th here for Yuma Mune. And you can bet he deserves that excited yell. And the first batter of the inning has reached. Gabe is getting very excited.
I am, but I can still give you Taida's pitching profile.
That'd be great while we have a moment.
He actually has his own Rapsodo at home to keep an eye on his data and his pitch tracking.
Good Lord.
Splitter, slider, cutter as his primary off-speed pitches, two-seamer and curveball every so often. But he throws that fastball 36% of the time, and yeah, average is 151 kilometers an hour.
A lollipop throw over to first to keep Mune honest, but I mean, the Phenom is at the plate, and he has got a chance to win this game. Although it looks like they're giving him the inimitable role of sacrificing to get Mune into scoring position with one out. Taira fields the bunt, throws to, that is Tonosaki. No, not Tonosaki, excuse me, Takizawa, who fields it. Mune is now in scoring position, and a hit should end this game. And all they had to do is exchange one out for that.
Always bunt.
Bunting is sexy. I've been known to say that.
I mean,
baseball is more baseball.
The bunting, very true, Jimbo. Factual argument. The thing about the bunting, and you know, Japanese baseball, the aesthetic is really good. Their bunting technique is supremely good. That is one definite benefit to all the times that you're being asked to put it down. You'll really learn what you need to do. Confab, as they figure out strategy on the mound, they're probably going to talk about, hey, you should probably not throw this guy that pitch. Or, hey, we should probably play to cut the run. Or positioning the infielders. But Confab is over, and Mr. Zero is trying to live up to his nickname in a critical spot here in the bottom of the 10th.
I remember Pierre Hedgehog was bringing this up in the chat earlier, but Yuma Tongu's cheer song and his jersey number both belong to another member of this franchise, former foreign player Greg Boomer Wells. And Boomer not only appreciates the homage, he approves of it.
Tongu stepping up to bat now in what is probably the most critical at-bat he's had this entire game. Looks at the first pitch high, ball one. Buffalo's dugout ready to erupt. Swing and a miss. He wanted to get the sayonara home run there, that's for sure. Dives away from his bat, and the count is evened at 1.
I need another zoom in on that Captain's C, because it looks like it says "Go All Together," the Buffalo's slogan.
That was about as close as you got, and I think you're absolutely correct. Swings over the top of that one as well. And Kaima up to 1-2 now. That filthy off-speed stuff.
That was 150. That was an off-speed.
Well, there are some pitchers who run off speeds of that. Just thinking of The Miz in Milwaukee. But yes, hit up the middle, and that is stopped by Natsuo Takizawa, who throws it to first. And we have the worst timed lag ever.
Yeah, I was going to say, did that happen to everyone or just me?
I can't tell, but I can tell after the nap that Ongu dove into first base, and I don't think he made it. Let's see the replay. Hard to corral is Takizawa with a really hard hop. Throws it over to first, and Tongu's best effort cannot get him there. And there are 2 outs. Nevin puts him away. Takizawa, a heck of a defensive play. Let's hope that one is on top place, because like game state wise, that was the most important defensive play. Mune moves to third. He's 90 feet away from sending this game to its conclusion. But there are 2 outs, and in steps today's DH, Masahiro Nishino. You know who would love to play the hero? He hasn't done much since his hit and walk in his first 2 plate appearances. Call the ball up and away, 1-0.
Nishino known more for his infield chops. Good to see he's getting some recognition with the bat, too. While Mori is recovering from injury.
And that's easily strike 1. I think some of it is also just like trying to give him a quote-unquote half-day off situation. Like they want his lineup, they want his bat in the lineup, but they don't want him to get tired on his feet by playing the field the whole way through. That said, I'm not sure if he's in the regular infield rotation as a starter. That is driven into center field. That is just catchable by Sosuke Genda, drifting back into shallow center field. And despite the threats, Mr. Zero puts one up. We go to the 11th. Genda, who just saved the inning. Koga Hasegawa. Man, my voice is not prepared to have taken this all the way to 11 innings. It's like starting to fade on me here. Hopefully everybody can hear you okay. Thanks for checking out this stream wherever you are, whenever you are. We are getting close. Mr. Zero doing a fantastic job to limit the damage thanks to a couple of defensive studs up the middle. Takizawa with this amazing play to rob Yumatongu of a, certainly game-changing base hit, maybe game-tying if it doesn't go well. And then Genda, of course, drifting back for that little pop fly into shallow center field. Do not know what looks like his belt paid the price for that headfirst dive. The second wardrobe malfunction. I have never seen a wardrobe malfunction on one of our broadcasts, and I've seen 2 in the same game now.
That's baseball, baby.
It's baseball. You never know what you're going to see when you go to the park. You might see something that's never happened before. In the hit battle, the Buffaloes are now ahead 10-9, which is amazing considering how Sumida was doing. New pitcher is Kaito Idiyama, looks like. Trying to see if I got that name right. Oh, goodness. Let's see. Where did he go? Kaito Idiyama. Yes, I did get that right. Fastball and a fork ball, if I'm reading Gabe's notes about it correctly. We will get some pitch mix information from him when we have a chance. Gabe is currently tending to other things. And this is now, the 5th, 6th? Wait, hang on. I can probably do this. Takashima, and they had Perdomo.
This is the 8th pitcher that the Buffaloes have used in this game.
Which has a lot to do with the fact that we had an opener. Because Taito Takashima only went 2 innings. And we're now in the 11th. So
Kaito Idiyama, similar pitch mix to Kaito Saiki. Not just the first name's the same. Fastball, forkball combo is primary too.
But the kanji are different, Gabe.
And that's why Japanese jerseys have English letters on them, because that way you have fewer characters that you need to render.
Well, kanji would be fewer characters, but it'd be more confusing. If you only have 2 things to render as opposed to writing out Idiyama. Genda looks at a ball up top. It's 2-0.
Yes, but the character set isn't all 2,000 kanji. It's just the 26 English letters.
Fair. So more possibilities, but fewer characters to render if you chose that route, is what I guess.
It's why, unlike KBO, which uses Hangul, which is all phonetic and no complex characters, they got Hangul on the backs of their jerseys instead of English.
Right. Korea used to use kanji as well, is my understanding, before they developed Hangul, which is probably a better choice for them in the long run.
That's right.
And fouled off to the left side, 2-2. just a little underneath that pitch.
Again, there's a day off tomorrow. Might as well use all the bullpen arms, but if this game goes to the 12th, I'm out of space in my scorecard.
You would think they would plan for that. Popped into center, right center-ish field, and that's handled by Hidooka for the first out of the inning.
I don't think the scorecard manufacturers were expecting 9 pitchers in a 12-inning game.
Oh, it's like listing the pitcher specifically. So it's like all you have to
Yeah.
do is have 12 frames. That's not that hard.
You know, there are 12 frames. In fact, there's room for more if it's a postseason game and they play more than 12.
And they have to just settle the score. That makes sense.
Well, no, they have ties in the postseason too here. Let's not forget. It's after 15 in the Climax series or after 18 in the Japan series.
And this is a pinch hitter, Nobuyoshi Yamamura. I don't have that name right. I've looked it up forever ago, and I've since forgotten. Nobuyoshi.
Oh, that's Takayoshi Yamamura.
Takayoshi. I was close. Takayoshi Yamamura is pinch hitting here for
Koga.
Yes, Yuto Koga. And slugged into right center field. Racing over is the replacement right fielder. Yamanaka manages to catch that on the run. And while it was exciting contact, it is quickly the second out of the inning. It's always a bum rap to be like on the bench pretty much the whole game, come in for one thing, and then it's just over that fast. Somebody who has been in the game the whole time, this is Shinya Hasegawa coming back to the plate, representing the last hope of the 11th for the Saitama Seibu Lions. Looks at a ball low, 1-0.
151 on the gun. All right, Iriyama showing off a little velo here.
I think he's amped up. Swing and a miss, and that's 1-1 count. One definite aesthetic difference to ballparks that I'm not entirely sure how I feel about relative to. Actually, maybe that wasn't a swing and a miss. It looks like he grazed that. The bullpens being on the field of play, that is slugged into right field. It'll be a base hit for Hasegawa, and he takes a little round first, but obviously they'll take any base runners at this point. We'll see if he tries to steal a bag. He did successfully steal against Katsuki, I think it was, or see if he has a toot plan.
I like the push bat there. The fact that he just decided to take it the other way. I think he surprised a few folks.
Well, I mean, you got to take the ball where it's pitched. If you're smart, that's what you should do. And generally speaking, it works out. If you put the ball in play, good things can happen. Here's Shota Hiranuma now. Looks at strike one. Groove down the center first. Groove down the center there. Hiranuma, we did mention, for those of you joining us a little late, Hiranuma, his wife announced on social media just yesterday that their second child was born. He is now a father of a baby girl. Dad power has not figured into the game yet. Quickly down 0-2 now.
And of course, this is a midday game over in Japan. So after this is done, it's off to the metro, off to the JR lines, and off to the izakaya. Jealous.
I tell you what, going to an izakaya sounds great right about now. Although maybe if it were not my time zone, because it's after 1:15 in the morning here. I know we've had people from not all over the world, but across the world. What time is it where you're at? Go ahead and light us up in the chat with that information, because we'd love to hear from you.
3:20 over here on the East Coast.
Thanks for Jimbo for putting that in the chat. Oh, okay, you're fine. You're on the broadcast. You may as well. 1-2 pitches upstairs. 2-2 now. All twos on those lights. 2-2 with 2 outs. The score is tied at 6. We're in the top of the 11th. Kyocera Dome, Osaka.
It's 4:20 p.m. at Chili Enchilada. I wonder where is that at?
Chili enchilada, really?
That's what his
Did I
name
hear
is.
that? Did I hear that correctly? Lifted into right field, racing for it is Yamanaka, but it is foul.
Homunculi watching from the UK.
Oh, that's a reasonable-ish time, isn't it? Like mid-morning now? 9
Baseball for
o'clock,
breakfast, yeah.
9
Early
something?
enough in the... I mean, it is a Sunday after all. Chili Enchilada watching from Korea. Hey,
Hey.
isn't there KPO games you should be watching instead?
No, he's watching
Glad to have
the
it.
Well, maybe they want to see other leagues too.
Oh,
Just swing and a miss, strike three. That is a humongous strikeout for Iriyama. And that will end the top of the 11th. When we come back, Yamanaka, Wakatsuki, Kunebayashi for the Buffaloes trying to end this game.
and we don't just do live broadcasts here. We've got a bunch of videos on this same channel. We've got our highlight videos, and we have our podcast where the team here get together every week and we talk about what's going on in the Pacific League, cover how the standings are going and all the news around the league. So please do check that out if you are enjoying the game and enjoy our voices. And man, we got 140 people watching right now. We got ourselves a very nice audience coming around to the bottom of the 11th inning.
How are we gaining people? Is it
I don't
just
know.
because Europe is waking up? I don't know.
It's because it's a 6-6 game. People want to see the Buffaloes and the Lions.
Chris Horn with a good between inning question. What's your go-to breakfast sando?
Just egg.
Not normally a sando guy, but you give me something that looks like an omelet, I'm a happy camper.
Yeah, egg with sausage. Yeah, egg, sausage, bacon. I don't need
Like a
anything
breakfast
else.
burrito sort of thing. Yeah.
Yeah. The go-to breakfast period is just 2 fried eggs and some toast. Very simple. That's how that's just what I make myself. If I go out to a place, maybe I'll get pancakes or something like that. But
Both teams with 6 runs, 10 hits. New pitcher into the game for the Lions. That'd be Yuta Kuroki. Former Buffalo himself, he was a member of the Oryx organization from 2017 to 2023. Joined the Fighters last season and the Lions in this one. Look for a 5-pitch mix: fastball, slider, curveball, fork, and changeup.
And now that we are late in the game, we have some defensive replacements. Seiya Watanabe, the rookie phenom, going to left. Ginjiro Sumitani taking over behind the plate. And, of course, you just heard about our newest pitcher. Speaking of replacements, Yamanaka, his second plate appearance today. He struck out his first time. Grounds it to second base. Takizawa easy picks it up and throws it over to Nevin. And 1 pitch, 1 out. That rate of return is really good for a reliever. Here comes Kenya Wakatsuki. Go ahead.
Interestingly enough, Yuta Kuroki was actually signed by the Lions on a developmental contract, and then he was registered early in April, having broken in with the roster. Mizzy saying $15 for a fresh Krispy Kreme right now. I mean, yeah.
My kingdom for breakfast food. Sounds delicious.
I mean, I was joking earlier, but teriyaki satay, yeah, I could go for some of that right now.
It was just you pastiching a name that's in the other league again, but sure. And Wakatsuki grounds out to, I think that was Davis.
Yep.
I was laughing too hard at the joke and thinking of food that I missed the play. Yep, Davis cuts across and makes the play to his corner.
Normal 11th inning things.
It is
Normal 125 when you're loopy in a late night baseball game.
At least we haven't
why
gotten into a
you're
protracted discussion about hot dogs like we did that one time at the Rakuten Mobile Park.
I do not remember that one, but I will say that more baseball is more baseball, and we get to talk about this because there's more
More
baseball.
baseball is more baseball, and a hot dog is a hot dog.
Now, but is a hot dog a sandwich? That's the question. Anyway, Kurebayashi.
Is it Korebayashi a Murabayashi?
No, he's not a Murabayashi. He hits it in the left center field, and that is going to be caught by Hasegawa. What a diving play to rob Kurebayashi of a hit.
Second straight robbery by Hasegawa against Kurebayashi.
Also,
Someone's got
hello,
someone's
future.
number.
Like, this game has practically provided a top 10 of its own. Jeez. Into the top of the 12th we go. Takizawa, Tonosaki, Nevin, representing the latest, greatest chances of the Lions to break the tie. Might I remind you that outside of a 4-run first inning that was largely perpetrated by the pitcher, they have not scored since the 5th inning.
That's very Lions.
That's the quality of the Buffalo's bullpen.
That
Saiki,
is-
Iwasaki, Perdomo, Machado, Yamaoka, Iriyama, and good question, who's next?
You know, it's not going to be any of those. It's probably going to be another 1-inning guy because you can open up the bullpen with an off day after this game.
Based on who was listed as available for the game, it's either going to be Kazutomo Iguchi or Kaede Yokoyama.
I love how the scoreboard is almost completely matching here. That's really fun. It's always fun when those things parallel. Can we tell by the entry song? Or more correctly, the number. That Iguchi? No, 52. Wow, very over top delivery. This is Kaede Yokoyama.
And I have to find more room on my scorecard.
This is only his 3rd appearance in the 2025 season. He initially was brought on to Oryx roster from the Sega squad. We talked about the industrial leagues a little bit earlier. Yes, Sega has their own baseball team too, and he got to play on it. How cool is that?
And not only that, but he's the second pitcher we've seen tonight from the Buffaloes who pitched for Melbourne in the Australian Baseball League. Yokoyama did it in 2023.
Also, I think
fastball, forkball, curveball mix.
Also, I think it's interesting. It looks like he's got Kaede on the back of his jersey as opposed to his family name.
Yeah, I think he might go mononymously here.
There are plenty of Yokoyamas. I mean, obviously, for the Marines, Rikuto Yokoyama has been a long-time successful reliever over there. And into the game, we now have Haruto Watanabe in right field, the 3rd right fielder the Buffaloes have had. He replaces Yamanaka. Mostly at this point, do you expect him to be a defensive replacement? Because I believe Yamanaka just took an at-bat. So unless... No, there's no way. This guy's not going to get an at-bat. He's in because of defense. Speaking of defense, here's the tiny highlight reel, who has provided a little bit of a highlight reel for us today, but not provided too much at the plate. We'll see if he can make the start here against Kaede.
Look at that pitching motion. He almost hides the ball with his torso with that sort of herky-jerk action.
Well, that, and he's so over the top. It's such a different look from what we've seen both thus far in the game. What are the whistles for there? That seems rather rude.
That would be the cheering section. That's the Lions cheering section, trying to get everyone's attention and ramp them up for one more inning of work.
One more inning of work indeed. Takizawa quickly down 0-2. And slugged through the middle. It's picked up by Ota. Throws over quickly and just in time to nab Takizawa. Tongu completes the out. 4-3 on the putout. And we have one gone. We are one out closer to resolution.
Kevin D picking up the MLB comp for Kaede. Pete Fairbanks, closer for the Rays.
I thought Fairbanks was a lefty, though. Maybe I'm wrong. I could very well be wrong.
Well, it could still be a comp, just kind of play style wise.
Mirror image, yeah.
That's fair. That's fair. Here comes Mr. Apple Punch.
Army Chow Mein in the chat.
That is low for ball one.
Tonosaki had a walk-off hit last week, so he does have some late inning heroics left in him.
And obviously he was responsible for the lone run in yesterday's victory. But he skies that one on the infield. Mune racing in, calling everybody off. And fielded himself.
Dome scraper right there.
One more out closer to resolution. There are 2 down in the top of the 12th.
Sean Connolly confirming Fairbanks is a righty, so the comp is accurate.
Thank you for that confirmation.
Nine pitchers in one game. Sabermetrics fans approve.
You are not going to have any kind of times through the order penalty with that.
Orly asking, if nobody wins, how does this game count in the standings? It just
It's a tie for
does
both
not
of them.
count. Ties do not count as a win or a loss. They're just removed from the calculation for percentage points win percentage altogether.
The Lions down to their last out, and the foreigner Tyler Nevin stands in. Early on, he was quite successful at the plate, getting on base in his first 2 trips, but since then, he has not done very much. The Lions could sure use him picking up some of that mojo right now.
If it's 6-6 after the 12th, that's it. A tie.
So we have 4 more outs to determine the result. If it's still tied, both teams get a tie, and it doesn't affect win percentage. If it's a walk-off for the Buffaloes, or if the Lions put together a rally here and the Buffaloes can't, this can still turn into a decision. Fouls that off behind the plate.
It takes a special kind of person to be up this late. At least it's not as bad as that Fighters Eagles game in which we ran to like 4:30 in the morning. We closed it up before the sunrise. Here we're getting 12 innings in 3.5 hours.
Yeah, the starting pitcher was Chihiro Sumida, and until the 6th, he was doing great.
And then rumble strips.
And then rumble strips. The Buffaloes dying and living by the long ball. They resurrected thanks to the long ball. Two and two count now. At some point with that many rocking motions to set, I wonder if he's going to get called for a balk. 3-2 now. The count is full.
Please do not do a balk.
Well, even if he did, doesn't really change the at bat. It's not like there is anybody on base.
JT Hollis saying he would want to play overseas baseball. I mean, you're taking a look at one of the best to do it right now in Tyler Nevin.
Comes set for the deciding full count pitch. Swung on and fouled off. That is back behind home plate and well into the seats.
Ooh, just got under it. Yeah, Chili, no more Satya Yamasaki hitting an interleague. Tense moment.
Yes. That's lifted into... Wow, of course my feed is showing frozen on the other thing. That's not helpful. But it must have been a fly out to left field based on what little I did see. And there goes the...
or tie time now.
There is the end of the top of the 12th. 3 more outs until this result is official.
And yeah, as Pierre points out, the Lions can't win now. It's either draw best case scenario.
Correct. The Lions cannot do anything more to increase their score. All their pitchers can do is keep the Buffaloes from walking this off, and that would be a tie for both teams. And ironically, it's worth coming back to this comment because the season series between these two right now is literally dead even. So it would be hilariously fitting if it becomes a tie.
9-9-1. Yeah.
Not like it's going to stay that way. They obviously have way more games to play left over in the full season scope.
Only 6.
But
each team only plays each other 25 times.
Correct. And yet, the fact that this one game turned into a tie, the only one of the season series that is kind of interesting when they've been deadlocked or close to deadlocked all year. Here comes Yuta Nakamura out of the pen to pitch the 12th. His 11th appearance now on the year. He does have a loss on the ledger, a 1.23 ERA, and this is a pretty big spot. I mean, we've got some pretty famous type hitters, if you've been paying attention to this league a few years, coming to the plate to make or tie this game for the Buffaloes. We have a couple of defensive replacements again. Looks like we have the... Who is that? Is that Kodama now? Yep, Budowski Kodama at third base now in place of J.D. Davis, and I think Montel Higuma into the outfield. Hasegawa shifting over to accommodate for that. And the first batter to take the crack at ending this game is Keita Nakagawa. He of the 2-run game-tying home run. Literally the last person involved in any scoring of this game is standing at the plate right now.
And Pierre asking, have we ever had a tie on...
No, we have not.
So there you go.
Well, now I'm rooting for chaos. Come on, let's go. Strike one.
Yuta Nakamura, former Hiroshima Carp. He was picked up in the active player draft back in 2024. Fastball heavy, cutter is primary off speed, only a 115 opposing average.
Fouled off. Quickly 0-2.
And Jenna asking if there's a replay after a tie. Nope, it just goes in the record book as a tie and doesn't count towards the win percentage.
My
Showing
position
his
on it is
highlight
simple.
earlier.
My position on it is simple. If you haven't played well enough to win after 12 innings, you don't deserve to win.
The 0-2 pitch. Fouled off again.
I mean, ties are incredibly rare in Japan, even with just 3 extra innings. I've been to, 15 games, and we've broadcast easily 24, and this is our first opportunity even. I don't think we've even had a game go to the 12th before.
I mean, we've had extra innings, I think, but I don't think we've had it go all the way to the 12th still tied. And that is in the dirt. Nakagawa does not bite. 1-2. I mean, it's smart pitch sequencing, right? You don't want to give him something and groove it in the middle of the plate when you've got an 0-2 count. See if they bite
and lean on that cutter, work with the slider. You've got off-speed stuff. Throw him some junk for a little bit.
Got a bunch of balls in the count to play with.
I say put him away right here.
It'd be good if he could, but that is in the dirt, ball 2. As I said, I am completely rooting for chaos. The last time I was on a midnight matinee broadcast, we saw the single highest scored game.
Oh, it's true.
Midnight matinee. And now this time, I might be privy to the first ever tie that we broadcast. Like, I am so rooting for that right now.
Not gonna lie, I kind of am too.
And that is
Ooh.
low. That's the pitch he wanted, though, because that could be called a strike. Instead, it is 3-2.
And Ginjiro Sumitani, the veteran catcher, the longtime
Look at that
Gold Glover.
beautiful reception.
Yeah, perfect frame job.
Wasn't enough to be framed as a strike, apparently, but 3-2 pitch. Swung on and fouled away.
I can't be the only one who thought he just did it right there.
Yeah.
John Cusack on the bench there.
And the initial opener of the Buffaloes, Taito Nakashima. I imagine the case is still true. 3-2 again. Swung on and fouled off, and Nakagawa is making Nakamura work for this at-bat here.
8 pitches so far.
I don't imagine it changes, but is there a hero of the game for a tie?
I don't know.
Because, like, on the one hand, you'd think people would be kind of disappointed they didn't select a player of the game, but, like, you didn't have a decision, so what do you do?
J-Dog says no.
Swung in, hit into center field. Backing up for it is the newly inserted Montel. I think so. Catches that for the first out of the inning, just a couple steps ahead of the warning track. I wish that I had paid attention if they showed like the names on the field, because now I'm kind of flying a little less sight-wise about who's in the game and whatnot. But we have Taishi Hirooka coming up his 6th trip to the plate today. He is 1 for 5 thus far, or maybe 4 if he got a walk. I think he got a walk. Anyway, that laced in there for a strike.
Nope, just 1 for 5.
1 for 5. Swing and a miss. He was going for the sayonara swing. That was definitely a power swing there. 0-2.
Power drive.
Ball go far. No, he didn't hit it yet.
Power drive.
Fanding asking if the podcast is available on something other than YouTube. Unfortunately, no. We have to make sure we geo-block it so that it's only available in overseas territories, and other podcasting solutions do not allow that.
But if you are watching us, then you have access to the place where we have all those videos. Well, okay, I say videos. It is audio only, but available. So go check it out. Like the channel. Thanks for being here. We appreciate you staying up with us. And there's, for first ball he's thrown in this count, he has been really good about getting hitters down early. And, like, it's so much harder as a hitter when you are down in a count 0-2 to play the guessing game of what's going to come, fouling things off if they're close. Comes set with the 1-2 and loops that curveball in there. It is called ball 2. There's a reason they call it the 0-2 the pitcher's count, that's for sure.
Gabe Feely, podcast is weekly. Just every so often we can't rally up the troops and we skip one.
Or we took an off week for like All-Star break. I think we did once. And that loops in there, but that's very close, and now the count is full.
High drama here in the bottom of the 12th.
I tell you what, more baseball has been great.
Means
baseball.
more baseball.
But, like, I am riveted by this right now. Even if it may turn into a tie, I was kind of feeling drowsy, but now it's just like, okay, let's go. Swung on and lifted deep to left field. Did he do it? That ball is sailing out of here. Sayonara, Taishi Hirooka. And with that mighty swing, your Oryx Buffaloes win the game against the Saitama Seibu Lions 7-6 in the bottom of the 12th inning. What a contest! Wow. I think I saved all of my energy for that.
Just as we were saying, like, oh, it would be exciting to see a tie here, or not. I mean, that works too.
Hey, I would love to see a tie. Don't get me wrong. But, like, I got to call the game with the gravitas that moment deserves. Dude just won the game on a single swing. So the living and dying by the home run, yeah. How about almost a home run cycle? A grand slam, a 2-run homer, and a game-winning solo home run in the bottom of the 12th inning. This has been a ridiculous game, a ludicrous adventure to go on with all of you. I don't think we have to worry about who the hero of the game is at this point. I think it's pretty obvious, don't you?
It was 6-0 halfway through the game.
Yep. 6-0 until the bottom of the 5th. And then Ryota hits a grand slam and ruins Chihiro Sumida's chance at win number 10. He does get a no decision. The losing pitcher is going to officially be
Yuta Nakamura.
Nakamura. There we go. I was trying to remember which combination it was. Yuta Nakamura
And then
takes
the winning
loss.
pitcher is Kaede. Good for him.
Yeah, Kaede Yokoyama picks up the win for the Buffaloes. And the Buffaloes now take a lead in the season series against the Lions, 10-9. It has been a fantastic contest. Anything else from the commentators before we probably see the hero interview coming up soon?
I was very happy to be a good luck charm for the Lions. I came in at the right time and had the game go the way it should go.
Oh, okay. Sure it was.
And remember, more baseball is more baseball.
I mean, I was going to sign off with "Sweet dreams, everyone," but at this point, I think we have to go with your new phrase. That's just too good.
God dang it! Remember, friends, more baseball means more baseball. From all of us here at Pacific League TV English, which may or may not be changing names now that we've got some Spanish language content, but for Gabe Lerman and Jimbo Bernicki and all of the crew here behind the scenes and our other friend as well, thank you so much for checking out the game wherever you may be. We appreciate each and every one of you for interacting with us in the chat and checking out this stream. We have one more broadcast to go this year for the season is over. We are going to find us again at 5 a.m. Eastern Time on Saturday, September the 27th. We'd love to see a lot of you there. But until then, that blast says sayonara, and we're probably going to get a hero interview. Take care and have a wonderful day, night, wherever you may be. Thanks so much for checking us out.
岸田監督にお越しいただきました。お疲れ様でした。
お疲れ様でした。
12回サヨナラゲームになりましたけれども、
はい
今日の試合